Last week I heard clicking sounds from the nearby alley. Now the whole world's on lockdown. Wonder how the hell I missed it. Soldiers block my district. But there's a glossy back door in my parents' basement. I slip into it, avoiding the barren wasteland. Don't want to end up a statistic. I'll be gone for the spring. Mama, don't say a thing. My long journey won't put you in danger. Lock me up in my room. Still gonna pack things up and sneak out to Hyrule. I'll explore the Great Plateau with my mask off. Beatles stores raking in profits like Tesco. Lock me up, leave me, it's not so bad. I'm gonna hit the pub down the streets of Novigrad. Nothing's changing under quarantine orders. Reading is never closing its borders. Lock me up, it's alright. Lock me up, leave me here, I don't mind. And while we hide, blood flies might swarm the city, spreading the tyrant virus outside. Trust me, I've already seen that. Think I should move to Greenland. So lick me, barnacle, hug me, my buddy head crab. I'm safe and sound, hanging round with my city 17 friends till the quarantine ends. I'll stay home the whole spring. Mama won't say a thing. Gaming now is officially healthy. Lock me up in my room. I'm gonna pack things up and sneak out to Hyrule. Then to Skyrim, maybe even to Lordred. Dying right after respawning is so fun. Lock me up, leave me, it's not so bad. Police won't beat me up, Chronica will instead. Netherrealm's not under quarantine orders. Kept the distance but still ended up quarter. Lock me up, it's alright. Lock me up, I'll stay put, I don't mind. I might spend decades in this shelter before escaping to post-apocalyptic lands. So bring me pizza, Mr. Bridges, and some toilet paper. Don't worry, I won't shake your hand. Lock me up in my room. Still gonna pack things up and sneak out to Hyrule. I'll explore the Great Plateau with my mask off. Beatles stores raking in profits like Tesco. Lock me up, leave me, it's not so bad. I'm gonna hit the pubs down the streets of Novigrad. Nothing's changing under quarantine orders. Reading is never closing its borders. Whoa, lock me up. You better lock me up, lock me up. Whoa, whoa. Lock me up, it's not so bad. You better lock me up, it's not so bad. Nothing's changing under quarantine orders. Reading is never closing its borders. Lock me up, it's alright. Lock me up, leave me here, I don't mind.
We all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. Oh, 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 oh. 어떤 것은 검은색, 어떤 것은 하얀색. 색안경을 끼고 보면 어떡해. 넌 착한 사람이고 걔 나쁜 사람이고 재미없는 너의 세상은 So many shades of grey. 어떻게 아직도 모를 수 있어. Could easily phase away. 함부로 나를 좋아하지 마. Because I'm a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 아주 못돼 먹은 작은 악마 같은 아인걸 몰라. You're a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 미처 몰랐던 악마가 아니야. 내 숨쉬고 있어. I'm killing someone. Maybe you're killing someone. Maybe I'm killing you. Maybe you're killing me. Maybe we all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. But what if we're the villains on the other? Am I good? Am I bad? Ay. Are you good? Are you bad? Ay. 내가 제일 사랑하는 누군가는 또 다른 누군가에게는 gay. Say, are we good? Are we bad? Ay. What is good? What is bad? Ay. 네가 제일 미워하는 누군가는 사랑받는 누군가의 자식. Say, so many shades of grey. 어떻게 아직도 모를 수 있어. Could easily phase away. 함부로 나를 좋아하지 마. Because 1, 2 I'm a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 아주 못돼 먹은 작은 악마 같은 아인걸 몰라. You're a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 미처 몰랐던 악마가 아니야. 내 숨쉬고 있어. All villains. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 아주 못돼 먹은 작은 악마들이 우린 걸 몰라. We're all villains. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 미처 몰랐던 악마 같은 우리를 좀 봐. I'm killing someone. Maybe you're killing someone. Maybe I'm killing you. Maybe you're killing me. Maybe we all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. But what if we're the villains on the other? We all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. But what if we're the villains on the other? We all pretend to be the heroes on the good side.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kittycorn stream, where the Kittycorn does Kittycorn things. Like that. Yo, what up, Asti? How you doing? Leshin? How fucking... How fucking dare you, Leshin? How dare you? How is everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing heckin' poggers. Ali, how you doing? Asti, how you doing? Leshin, hi.
Oh, hi. How's
I
it
don't
going?
need to know how you're doing because you're stinky. Why are you so stinky?
I may or may not have just eaten beans.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I can't really fault you for that one. Or
Yeah.
can I? Meow. Questioning if I have anything in between my ears. Maybe? Yeah, maybe. I'll go with maybe. Ollie is sad? Why is Ollie sad? Ollie, why you sad? How dare? How dare you be sad? You're not allowed to be sad. Being sad is banned. Sadness is banned. You're only allowed to be happy. Because life... Oh, that's fair. Yeah, again, I can't really fault you for that one. Life can be, pretty stinky sometimes. Yeah. Ah! Remember the Hito tax? Yeah, pay that tax. Pay the Hito tax. Pay it. If you don't pay the Hito tax, you'll pay in other ways. That's actually a lie. Mostly. Kellaton, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. Hey. Hope you're doing heckin' fantastic. Oh my god. We finished another arc in One Piece like an hour ago. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Wait, Lashin, stop it. You doing well? Having coffee and ice cream? Ooh. Very nice. Generally, if it's coffee and ice cream, I feel that it works better if you have like a cold brew coffee instead of like a hot coffee, because if you have hot and cold at the same time, it tends to like fuck with your mouth. Not in the good way either. Did you know that like rapidly heating up and cooling down your teeth can actually cause them to break? Yeah. Yeah, you might want to be careful. Now, if it's like a lukewarm coffee and ice cream, that's probably okay. But if it's like hot coffee and ice cream, you might wanna wait for it to cool down at least a little bit. That said, though, coffee flavored ice cream, ooh, that's some good stuff. Hell yeah! You could just take like vanilla ice cream and then just mix cold brew coffee in with it, and you basically have coffee flavor ice cream. That's pretty much the same thing. Oh, I just thought of something that would probably be delicious. You know how they have like moose tracks with like the little peanut butter cups or whatever, and like the fudge mixed into it? What if, right, you did that, except instead of the peanut butter cups, you had chocolate covered coffee beans? Oh, oh, that would be so good. That would be so
They
heckin'
actually
good.
do that.
They do that?
Yes.
What do they call it?
I don't know what they're called, but I know I've had them before.
That sounds so fucking good, though. Ooh, or chocolate
Give
covered
me a minute.
raisins in
I'll
there.
see if I can find some.
That'd be good as well. You can chocolate cover most things, and they'd be good in ice cream. Like chocolate covered peanuts, chocolate covered almonds, chocolate covered raisins, chocolate covered cranberry raisins, you know? Uh, you know those little like pearls of pomegranate? Those would be great covered in chocolate. Holy shit. Just like chocolate covered strawberry bits, chocolate covered cherries. Well, less cherries. I find that chocolate covered cherries, I don't really like those as much. I don't really like those as much. Then again, it has been quite a few years since I last had them. Quite a few years. By that, I mean it's probably been more than a decade. So yeah, that That would probably do it. That was back when I didn't really like the darker chocolates as much. That's unfortunate. I'll probably
So,
like them if
like
I have them again.
20,000 results later, I found some chocolate covered coffee beans.
Okay.
I could send
But
you a
like
link to
in
Amazon,
ice
but
cream?
oh yeah,
Oh. Pog. I would need to get like a low sugar ice cream. They do have them, but they're like unsurprisingly not as good cuz like less sugar equals less sweet. It still works, but it's just not as good. Occasionally I will have the low sugar ice cream. It's all right. That's not amazing. And when I say occasionally, I mean like maybe once a year or two. That's how it's gotten these days. Cause like aging, woo. Yeah, you probably shouldn't uh cheer for aging. That's just another step closer to our inevitable deaths. Yay!
true. Yeah, but just scrolling a little bit, I found like 3 different recipes to make it at home.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh really?
Yes.
Really?
Ha ha ha.
How fucking dare you?
Of course I dared.
My tracking's not having fun with my mic being like in my mouth practically. So it like keeps freaking out because it can't see my mouth, so it doesn't know like where my head ends. That's a thing.
My brain stopped working after you said "mic in your mouth." I'm like, "How are you talking?"
Just don't mind me. I'm just gonna deep throat my mic.
Whoa.
What's the plan for today, Hito? Chatting and watching videos. That's the current plan. So that's if that's a problem, then get hacked. Dab.
Imagine having a plan.
Some people have a plan. Usually it's plan B, but you know, that's still a plan. Anyways.
True that, true that.
做that. Abadabada.
Rabba-dabba-dabba-da.
New headphones are bone transducers, so you deep-throating your mic caused them to vibrate on my head.
Oh my.
Ooh, will get vibrated. Oh
So
my
now Hito
goodness.
has her own brand of vibrator, excluding the cucumber.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop. Imagine Leshen's PNG reacting when he spoke. Oh wait, it doesn't? Yeah, he's never been able to fix that shit.
I mean, I could fix it, but I wouldn't be able to talk, or I wouldn't be able to hear.
That sounds like a you problem.
I have to have the USB plug-in to be able to do both at the same time. I don't have a separate
Have you tried
cord for
just getting good? You should try getting good. I hear it helps.
that. That's too much effort and
Excuse you.
expensive.
It was working yesterday. What do you mean? Was it
Was
really?
it? I haven't changed anything.
Bruh. Oh, Trex is here.
Hello?
Hi, Trex.
Hello. How is
Oh.
everyone?
Ababa.
Ba, ba, ba.
Alright, let's get into vidges.
Yippee!
Gonna start with 5-minute gaming news by Jesse
Yippee.
Cox. Let's go.
Hello, everybody.
Eh.
Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that
may or may
may
not
be about
5
leaks.
minutes.
Today in the news,
Oh,
Sega
leaks.
experienced some massive leaks, and they could very well be true. Between this and
Don't tell Tit, cause like he really loves leaks. Wink, cause he's into pee. Anyways,
Sonic's death, they've been having a rough month over there. Over the weekend, Twitter user AV
Jet Set Radio
Yummy posted a video that showcased a next-gen looking Yukari from Persona 3 firing arrows, Beat from Jet Set Radio dancing in the streets, and early preview footage of Sonic Frontiers. The video also featured text in the upper right corner that translated to footage in development. In a later tweet that has since been deleted, the same Twitter user claimed that the footage was allegedly from Sega Japan's internal meeting held in 2021. And I know what you're thinking, Jesse,
right?
It is super easy to fabricate leaks these days, especially with all the AI tech. I get you. But since the leak came out, more and more people have stepped forward and said, yeah, it seems pretty real. As reported by Video Game Chronicle, Gamatsu appeared to suggest that the Persona 3 footage may be real to some extent, noting, while we cannot verify the footage itself, Gamatsu understands that a Persona 3 remake has been
I'm
in
more
development
interested in Jet Set
for
Radio.
several years. And with the success of 5 and the recent ports of 4 and 3, we're sort of in a Persona renaissance. Persona-sance, if you will. Additionally, it had already been reported last year by Bloomberg that Sega had been working on big-budget reboots of Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, according to its sources. Convenient? A true leak, or just internet drivel? We'll find out, like we always do. Eventually, the truth comes out. But this seems like it could really be something, and that's why I'm reporting on it. Hell, last month we covered that leak about Suicide Squad and how the game was going to be delayed again. And hell, Rocksteady hasn't even talked about that yet, so who knows? It's leaks, man. It's all grain of salt territory, but Jet Set Radio,
you gotta talk about
Crazy
those onions.
Taxi,
I mean, leaks.
Persona, all of this is stuff I'm super into.
Close enough, right?
I'm kind of hype. I hope it's real. Speaking of leaks, Nintendo looks like it's ready to take Discord to court over leaks. This past February, you may recall, a massive Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition art book leaked. The images were shared on Reddit under the username JustJulianOffic and on Discord as Julian2743, claiming that a friend had sent them an interesting look at its art book. Since then, the original posts were deleted, but it was too late. It already made its rounds on the internet, and everyone was sharing it. I even got you with a really good troll. It was great. Thanks for going to Twitter and looking at that. All of you, it made me so happy. But Nintendo is not happy because they're still out there.
What does it have to do with Discord?
Nintendo has applied for a DMCA subpoena. According to Video Games Chronicle, the application, if granted, would order Discord to disclose the identity, including the name, address, telephone number, and email address of the user Julian2743, who is responsible for posting infringing content that appeared on the Discord channel in question. Previously, Nintendo has issued 2 other DMCA notices to Discord, and right now, if this goes through, this could open the door for companies to do more of the same, to continue doing this to Discord, get that information for people who leak or share different things online that companies don't want them to. This is the case, of course, with the 17-year-old ringleader behind the GTA 6 leaks that's already been arrested by City of London police, where his current incarceration status is not known. So wherever you're at, Julian, if you're watching this,
Australia.
God, I hope you're ready, bro, because not even an ocarina is going to save you from the storm coming. Speaking of storm, why don't y'all storm your way over to patreon.com/JesseCox? That's where I went with that, where you can hang out with David Woodcock, Joshua Alexander, and Zach Perrin.
Whoa.
Anyway, that is it for me. See y'all tomorrow for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.
Oh my god. Oh, before we do that, I would do a shout out to Australia. Bow. Take that. Yeah. Take that, you chunky polecat. Meow. Batteries. Wait, what?
So apparently every single battery box has this? Come here
Naughty?
right now. What was the point of school What was the point of college? What was the point of grad school? My degrees aren't going to be useful for anything if I don't even know that you can save your batteries from just simply putting that little battery box fold in there, right? And I would always look at the back of battery boxes and I'd see that like little ripple there, and I'm like, that's cool. And then I would just rip the box open and let the batteries fall into the void of my bedroom. Do you understand? The internet will always teach me more than school ever will. I just found this out.
Not
Did you guys
wrong.
know that the creator of those boxes basically said that it was so simple to fold like that, they didn't feel the need to put instructions on the box?
Oh.
I need instructions. I didn't know this existed.
Yeah, same. Holy shit. I had no idea you could do that. Holy shit. Bruh.
The more we learn.
Well, damn. Howdy, Pirehead. How you doing? Hope you're doing heckin' fantastic. I think it's time for y'all to get hungry.
No, I just had
Yeah.
tacos earlier.
Aw, poor you. Let's start with drink then.
Good thing I have a drink.
After party. And normally, sometimes we're a little bit more drunk.
This
time
dude's
we're a little
audio
bit
is always
sober. I don't
quiet
know.
as fuck.
The drinks were so bad.
They were
but
terrible
those
drinks. I
good.
couldn't drink any of them. And also, I don't really want to have a big drink tonight. I'm going to start making my own. Meredith, you want me to
Squish
make
the
a
tracks?
TikTok
Yeah,
thing?
squish the
You know,
tracks.
that whole thing on the TikTok where people make like
Yeesh.
candy into cocktails.
I mean, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Let's do it.
ages command
Make a
doesn't work
candy
anymore.
cocktail.
Greg's
Or
worst.
rather, it
drink of
technically does
TikTok.
work, but it's the wrong link.
You should probably make it a TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. Grab my phone. TikTok me. We'll make a TikTok of, hey, bro. Hey, dude. Hey, dog. I heard you like TikToks, so I made a TikTok of you making a TikTok while you make a TikTok. So you got me all these peach rings, which I so fucking love. Oh, Jesus. My beautiful peach rings. Oh, yeah.
You threw away the frosting, though. Don't most of these candy cocktails have frosting?
Not mine.
Not mine.
Not mine. First thing you want to do is have a peach ring in your mouth because they're delicious. And then you're going to take some vodka. We're going to use this cheap-ass Laird's vodka. How much vodka? Not this much. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my peach rings, my beloved peach rings, into this jar. Oh, no! Peach ring
Peach
explosion.
rings. I do love peach rings. They
okay.
are pretty great.
Well, put the rest of these in the jar. Yeah. I'll take the floor ones from my mouth. I'm not afraid of the floor. Some people are afraid of eating off of a disgusting garage floor. Not me. Me and the spiders were kinfolk. No, 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 no.
There
That'll
we go.
fuck my blood sugar right up.
Fix the command.
Now I'm going to take
It is not
vodka,
nasty.
and I'm going to cover the peach rings in vodka.
Oh,
Meredith doesn't want
There you go.
anybody to know, but I just saw her eat a floor.
I was
Nasty
slowly
command.
working on that, but you're a bit
Get
faster
in
than
there,
I am.
bitch!
it's a good thing that copy paste works really well.
Okay.
And
That's
tab
what I was
complete
using.
also works really well.
You put the peach rings in the vodka and you shake it all up. You put the peach rings in the vodka.
It'd be
and
better
you
to put the
shake it
floor
all up.
ones
I
in the
said,
vodka.
And then you
Oh,
shake it
well.
all up.
You're
That's kinda
you're a
weird.
vodka. Hot got
Cool
him.
looking.
Yeah, what's going on here? We got a thing happening.
I know I'm done.
Cool. We're
Shut
just
up.
I mean, I would love to let that sit for like a week, but I don't think we have a week. So we're just going to let it sit for a while. Meredith, what flavors do you think speak to me as an entity?
You're a
You
cutera.
as a human,
Well, I mean, you know, I love Ango.
Ango has to be part of it.
We need a big bottle of the Ango.
I think of you as a rum guy,
Oh, yeah, rum.
but rum and vodka.
Well, we're just making liqueur here. That's not really a vodka
Liqueur.
Okay.
anymore. Yeah, rum's fair. I'm a rum man.
Which one?
Well, I'm strongly associated with Smith & Cross.
Okay.
Chartreuse?
You know,
We think of me as a
if,
chartreuse
if
man?
you ever want to like
Lately,
find something,
lately.
But I really
you should
like a
start with
peach
rum.
flavor.
Peaches.
You know why?
Peaches the clown!
Because it'll
I
help
think of
you.
maple syrup because
Rummage.
the first episode of How to Drink had
Ah.
maple syrup.
Ah,
We don't need any more
Ah.
sweetness here.
All right, no more sweetness.
All right, let's think here.
It's the worst drink on TikTok.
No, it's gonna be good.
So you're making the best drink on TikTok?
I'm making a
Nice,
TikTok
Ali.
style
Nice.
drink that I would want to drink.
I'd say
Ali's all about that bub.
Absinthe.
Yeah, we'll do an absinthe rinse.
Getting some ideas.
Well, our main idea is this. I don't know how long it's going to take now.
Well, let's chat.
Meanwhile, Leshen's over there
Let's have a
leaking
nice
souls.
chit-chat.
There's a lot of people asking how we know each
Once
other.
they're burned
which
up,
people
you gotta
who follow
release 'em.
your other live streams
That's
know
fair.
that, but
That's fair.
I've been seeing comments asking if I'm your sister or
No.
or sibling, or if I just got hired for the show.
Well, the truth of the matter is that Meredith was a traveling samurai who killed my parents in a duel. And I spent 15 years of my life hunting her down for revenge. And when I met her, we fought each other to a standstill. Katanas everywhere. And finally, exhausted, I said, I respect you too much to kill you. Come make a drink show with me. Actually, we went to film school together, though.
Close enough.
What do you got?
It's starting to taste a little peachy.
Do we have any peach liqueur that you can peach it up with?
See, the problem is
Probably.
that he's being way too impatient with
Quarter
this.
peach or
You gotta
something
let
like
it
that.
sit. Gotta let
Meredith,
it
you wanna get
brew.
me, I know we have them.
Come on.
An immersion blender. All right, this is taking too much
Hi,
time.
Thunder.
We're gonna
How you
blend.
doing?
Are you ready?
I said Thunder.
Do you think anybody's used a weapon? One of these as a weapon in a horror movie yet?
An immersion blender?
Yeah, specifically.
I don't think so. But
No,
where
we-
would you
It would
just like?
break new ground. It's like core right through somebody's heart. That's what
Yeah.
you would do in a horror movie. And they'd be like,
their
like
neck,
blood
yeah.
pouring out of their mouth.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be
So there's a
surprised
new
if someone
Scream coming
didn't
out. Maybe
use
they'll
one
do
of
it in
those
that one.
in a
Is
horror
it a
movie
sequel or a
yet.
reboot?
It's actually fairly
I
hard
don't think
to.
any of the originals are coming back for this one, and they're
You would know if
they're
it's
coming-
fairly
they're in
hard.
New York.
Ooh,
They're
woo.
in the city this time.
God
so
damn
they're
it,
out of
Ito.
Westboro.
Hey,
You know how
welcome
often
to
I
the
need to
cringe
use one
stream.
of those?
So it's 6, yeah, but yes.
I would
It's not
guess
technically a
quite
reboot,
often.
But
Yeah, but we don't call it an immersion blender. We just
it's
call
the
it a burr
first time
mixer.
they're. Well, no, I guess the
A
second
what?
one
We're
she's
lazy.
in college, so I guess it's not the first time they're leaving.
Call it a
That's a-
what?
A burr mixer.
A burr mixer?
Because it goes burr.
Ah.
I wish I was lying.
That's so fucking dumb.
It is.
Fair enough.
The kitchen staff may have gotten drunk one too many nights when we were all stuck at the restaurant. So it just stuck.
Fair enough. I can't really fault you for that one. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Thunder is alive and his headset decided to end itself. Alright, when you say
Oh, no.
headset, do you mean like headphones headset or like VR headset? Because one of those is a bit worse.
True.
Check DMs.
Imagine having DMs.
Thunder, why are you sending me porn? I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
What?
It's a joke. It's a joke. All right, it's his headphones. One of the ears came off. He's got like the one of those big foam padded ear parts, and it's just completely detached from the headset. So yeah,
I wish you luck in the customer support.
yeah, the entire speaker. So it's still under warranty, or because
God
if it's not
damn it.
still under warranty, you'll just have to get a new one, I guess. Alright, video. Bye.
Like the Lady
3 a.m.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it is 3 a.m. for
Yeah.
It's like they were like it's a sequel.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
then
you're
you saw
a
it as
nerd.
reboot. It was a total reboot. It wasn't a
Yeah.
sequel. Did you like the Lady Ghostbusters?
Have you tried just like breaking
It had
stuff
its
during
moments,
the
but
day?
No, I liked the
Why are you pinning that shit? Stop
most
that.
recent Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That's
I liked
good.
that one
I'm
quite a bit.
unpinning
it was a
that
little,
immediately. That's too
A little
big.
ham-fisted, a little sentimental, but I loved it.
Yeah. See, I'm fine with
It
sentimental.
will.
It's great for me. Looks like you got
Not awake
a
during the day?
pinky
That sounds like a
peachy
you
thing
problem.
going on there.
That sounds like
So
a
this is
you
what
problem,
people miss.
Thunder.
This is what 90% of shooting the show is. Just waiting for things to become ingredients.
Okay, I'm just gonna strain as much of this as I can into this.
I hate this. This is a terrible way to do this.
It's all terrible.
It's
This
all
is
terrible.
also terrible. Like, how am I even gonna do this? I don't know, like that. There we go.
What isn't a me problem?
One little vodka. There we go.
Russia. Russia is not a you
Keep
problem.
some vodka.
Make sure you
Probably.
get it all. Don't leave any behind.
No, that's good. We're good at that. Let's see if these guys taste like fun, something exciting. Oh, they're bad. Who could have guessed? Oh, God. Oh, boy. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, my God. I made that.
You just not like peach rings,
Do you
my
want to try
dude?
it?
No. Not yet. All right, I'll try it. I gotta find out what the sweetness level is on this. Ugh, it's delicious. Yeah, okay, we're gonna wing this. We're gonna wing it. I'm gonna make a grocktail.
A grock
A cocktail
What
for
the-
a Greg. Let's start with equal
Okay.
parts and just see where that puts us. 1 ounce of peach.
I mean, maybe you shouldn't have added the rum.
Filming this first? I don't know. What
I don't know
we're
what we're
doing
doing.
right
What are we doing? We don't know what we're doing.
now. Making a TikTok.
We're making a tickety
Are
tock.
we
Thunder
supposed to
can't
do,
go
like, all
outside during the
sorts of,
day.
like-
The sun would dom him.
Yeah, that's helpful.
I mean,
Whoa.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
good stuff. That's what the kids want. 1 ounce.
if the
of
sun came out.
1 ounce of Smith and Cross. Whoa!
What was the Wayne's World camera where they go?
Extreme close up.
Whoa.
Let's do an ounce of simple on this one.
Wayne's World, party
You got any
time.
limes?
Excellent.
We got some old limes. These are fine. Old limes all the time.
Brow.
That's what I want. Old limes. We're gonna do the fruit ninja with my own.
Is he adding simple if he
limes. All right,
if it
so
was
we're gonna do an
already
ounce
sweet
of
as
lime
heck?
juice here.
Man, I don't
so
know.
why don't you tell the story of how we met? Because I think I just
Maybe
said we
it's a
met at film
texture
school.
thing.
So
I don't
you
know.
were kind of the older,
different
more
kind of
cynical
flavor.
person in class. We had all these
Oh,
film
cynical,
students
I
being
was-
like,
I was cynical.
I'm gonna be the best director, and I'll make my short movie.
I'm gonna
and
be
it'll
the
get
very
into all the
best, like
festivals,
no
and then
one
my
ever
career
was.
will begin. And you're like, I need to make money because I have to live.
Yeah, I was like a thing. Like, so I
Imagine
grew up,
living.
and
Who
my
does that?
mental image of an artist was like a starving artist. You know, like I thought poor people become artists. And then I went to film school and I found out, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out that way. And so all these people were there to make their
I mean, the majority of
beautiful
artists
movies
are
that was gonna go to
poor.
a festival, and in a lot of cases that they're
I have
friends and
several
knew somebody
artist
was gonna take
friends
their
that
camera
can
like that. And I was like,
can vouch for that.
pay me. I gotta pay them bills. You know, where's the work?
I will say for SVA,
Simple
though,
is
you have a
just
lot
50%
more
water, 50%
technicians.
sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone I know that
That
came out
sounds
of that
awful.
school is working on set
Yes.
somewhere, unless they decided they
Squish
didn't
the
want
thunder.
No, that's
Yes,
true
squish
though. I
the
mean, like,
thunder.
that was a school that really put
Squish
people
them and
to
give them
work
pats.
for reals.
But
The three
before
dashes,
giving
I
him
can
pats,
store
give
it
me
in
pats.
there.
And optionally hugs
I
as
mean,
well. I
4.
like hugs as well.
I'm gonna Google
Pats and
cool
hugs.
TikTok shots. Then we're gonna
And
do
snuggles
one.
and cuddles.
We're gonna do a cool shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do like. Oh, it brought up like alcoholic shots. I meant.
Oh, you mean
I
camera
mean like
shots?
camera angles. Yeah.
I thought you meant alcoholic shots too.
Is that
I was like,
sugar
what is she
without there
talking about? We're doing
just being
shots?
granulated sugar in your
Fucking
drink?
shots.
Oh,
That's not true. But sometimes I
That's
do
fair.
shots. Great. Now I'm gonna make some carbonated water. I don't know why my voice
Leshen's gonna
lately
make a
has
tax
been Dr.
command.
Teeth. I've just been Dr. Teeth all the time. All right, we're gonna let that sit while we do the other parts of this thing. We want a little bit more something sweet. Oh,
Want to know
yeah,
a
we want
fun
little
lesson
chartreuse.
fact?
I don't know, half an ounce.
What's a fun lesson
I do
fact?
think this is still kind of undersweetened, though. I hesitate to just dump more simple in there.
Lesson is adorable and
I'm
amazing.
just like going along with
Yeah,
things
sure.
Greg likes and putting them together.
He's one
I'm
of
gonna throw
those,
another
yes.
half an ounce of simple in there. Is that an
Adorable.
ounce? I can't do an ounce and a half of simple. I just can't bring myself to do it. Let's assume this is
Okay, I
sweet
lied. He's
in
both of
fact.
those.
Let's just say it is. I think it probably
It's not
will be.
sweet
what I'm about
enough.
to
What do you
next,
mean?
Which is I'm going to put an egg white in it.
Oh. Trying to be ridiculous here. It's
Put
not
in
working.
an egg white.
Yeah, I fucked up the spelling on one of those. Oh well.
What
Fix
was
it later.
so I was cynical, and what else happened in that class?
I don't know. I think I found you like funny, I guess.
Funny.
But not just funny. Like it was true. Like you were practical, and I tend to be a practical person, so that appealed to me.
Good dry shake this one, Mary.
But then I don't remember outside of that class. We must have chatted, or I don't know.
Well, we were kind of in
Why-
different years. We were in different
Yeah.
tracks. Actually, you were ahead of me, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, at that point.
because I
it
had
was.
started college really late. Oh, yeah! Well, this is weird, man, because I can see you and see me in the monitor over here.
Shaking is like the
Man.
one time that it's actually loud.
Straight into this highball, Collins, whatever you want to call it.
Everything else is just too fucking quiet.
Ooh. That's awfully thick.
That's what she
Why is
said.
it like that?
Oh!
God.
What happened here?
That's what she wishes she
Wait a
said.
minute, wait a minute. Something's not right here. Something's not right here. Put it back in. Put it back in. We need more rum.
Why would you
We
need
gotta
more
have
rum?
more
You've
rum.
already got
Put it back
vodka in there.
Another
That's
ounce
gonna
of
taste
rum
like
for sure.
shit.
This drink might be really gross.
Rum and
Is there like
vodka
a
do not
smaller,
go well
skinnier
together.
version of this drink, or
Stop
like
it.
anything
The
like that?
glass?
Yeah, like a small.
Should have just
skinny-
kept it with
That'll
vodka.
work.
And then
Love it.
added like some cream.
Beautiful.
Oh, sorry, you just got some fingerprints on it.
No, it's gorgeous.
Why are you
Alright,
making
let's see if
shit?
it's not so
Like,
gloopy
come
now.
on. You're better than this, my dude.
Maybe it's less gloopy. I don't know. Oops, stop right there.
Proper
I think
vodka
it's
doesn't have
disgusting.
taste
I don't
though.
think I made a good drink, man.
And
Things have gone off the rails.
I think I really fucked this one up.
Well, you were cursed by the worst drinks of TikTok.
It looks pretty. It might be good. I don't know.
The top has like a layer of seltzer
Well, yeah.
drizzling into it, making its way through.
Let's see.
Okay.
If,
That's true. I made it
this
much better.
Isn't awful. I don't get the peach at all.
if you're not getting the peach at all, maybe you added too much simple or other shit.
Like, look at this.
Or maybe you
can
should have
actually-
let the
You seeing
the
this?
stuff like
Oh wow!
actually
it's
mix.
Develop.
Yeah.
So to tell the people why that's good.
I guarantee if he would have left
Well,
those
this is
peach rings
terrible
in the
drink.
vodka
I'm
for
sorry,
like
I
a
just
week,
disappointed
it would have
everybody
been
with it.
a
Feels
billion
like if it
percent
was
better.
Less drink and more seltzer. Because that was really kind of my thinking. To be mostly foam. Ooh, that's fun too. That's actually kind of good. Now that it's like thinned way out and a lot of seltzer, it's a lot lower proof. You do get the peach. You do get the different flavor components here. I don't know why you would make this drink.
Why
You know,
not?
It's still stupid as hell. I don't know. It's
Doesn't
just a dumb
matter if it's
idea.
stupid.
Sometimes I'm just fucking around. I don't have good ideas. That happens.
People
That'll
don't do
happen.
dumb
Happened to
shit all
me.
the
Happened to
time.
you. That was the
That's
best
why
one.
we have so much
But I wanna use this
population
as
in
an
the world.
opportunity to
Like,
tell
come
you that
on.
That's why you can't be afraid to
True.
experiment, you know, because you never know.
I'm implying that
when
there's a lot of
inspiration's
dumb
gonna
people
strike.
in the world.
You just gotta keep on plucking along and trying new things. You were making a thesis film. at
Half
that
of them
time.
are in Congress.
I wound up as the
What?
sound designer.
I didn't say anything.
holding auditions for guys and
What?
dolls.
Hi.
You could be the next Sky or Nathan.
That's right. Somehow,
There's
yes,
one
I made a
streaming right
musical.
now. Who? Do I know them?
Yeah, what was it about?
That's right, Mom. Your daughter is a big old meat eater.
A young man who was
fuck?
the nephew of the town butcher, but falls in love
Not even the
with
son of, just the nephew.
I
yes.
hope you know them.
with a yeah right Who falls
Maybe.
in love with a vegetarian at school,
I have a vegan club meeting and way too much homework.
and so
fuck
he
is this
takes
shit?
spends all of his time trying to make
She didn't like the meat.
basically we invented
Knowing yourself is a
Beyond
problem.
Burgers.
Yeah.
Plant-based meat.
I
He's
have a
trying to
problem.
make plant-based meat
I thought he was doing cloned meat.
or cloned meat. I guess it is cloned. We were
That
very
product-
vague on the
Well,
science.
the cloned meat is on the way. That's coming. That's coming like
Well,
this
the
year.
original ending
It's
of it
coming,
was supposed
huh?
to be
Good
this
to
like
know.
cloned cow like kills her, but we couldn't figure out how to make
have to
that
get
happen.
lots
It
of
was supposed to be very
towels
like
ready.
Little Shop of Horrors.
I got it.
His creation,
Got it.
like we couldn't figure out how to make that happen, so it ended up being a very cheesy musical ending.
But you made a musical.
We did. That was the fun. The music and
Crazy.
like that was the fun part. The story was not our strong suit.
Yeah, but like
Right.
you made a musical. That's crazy.
My
to do,
favorite
first of all.
story in the whole movie is why her mother is a vegetarian. It was because she grew up on a farm and made best friends with this, with a chicken, or I think it was a duck. And then she comes home one night and the duck is like on the plate for dinner.
My
Bruh.
friend and I met our fate. I am in the kitchen starting to cry, and my friend is on a plate.
And we told the story in a montage where it's just this little girl
Well, that's
in the
cringe
wig
as fuck.
of the mother
Yeah.
paling around with the
Just a
turkey.
little bit.
She comes into the room at the
I
end
thought
of the
I was
night,
cringe.
And she made
Holy
a friendship
shit.
bracelet for the turkey. It's just
Duck.
cooked up. A duck, yeah, the duck.
It's your
It's just
movie.
cooked up on the plate. And then we had to make another movie because we decided to do this like
Reminds me
30-minute
of
musical.
this
And we're
rather
like, well, we
famous
we
Dutch
shot this over
Christmas
the
song,
summer.
but it's a
like
rabbit instead of a
co-thesis.
duck.
We can split it in
Bruh.
two if you need. It fits all the requirements if we do that. They're like, no, you have to make two completely separate movies. So we made like a documentary about the North Carolina Wizard of Oz park.
We're off to see the wizard.
There's a Wizard of Oz park? Oh no.
We
You don't
like
have a-
recorded music and like
that's
it was just
insane.
like, come
Is
on.
Small
that your
Thunder was
thesis
not a
advisor did
fan?
that to you?
No,
I mean, most
No.
people aren't
Diary of
fans.
Santi.
Like,
Joan.
Joan
they
Rivers.
just don't have electrical
Yes.
So here's the
components
thing
in
about
them.
going to film school, particularly like, you know, a better one. They're going to brag about.
You forgot
and
about
it's worth
Redbubble?
bragging about
Yeah, I've still got the
how,
merch
you know,
there.
They're not teachers, right? We have industry professionals.
It's the
like
only
real
merch I
directors
have.
working here, real people. We had a guy with 3 Oscars there for sound, but I mean, he was a good friend of ours too. He's a really cool guy. But we had an Oscar-winning teacher at that school that we studied under. It was great, and so people go there with like this wide-eyed, oh my God, I'm gonna learn from these people, and a lot of them are people who teach.
Yeah.
Because they can't do anything else. But they suck up those wide-eyed kids who are, oh, I'm here to learn from anybody. And then they get to be their own little king or queen of a fiefdom.
What?
A lot of them use those students to make their own short films.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, a lot of them, that was the film department. SVA as a whole has like, actually like the fine arts department and the computer arts department does employ these like working professionals. Like my college girlfriend
Wait,
had their
professionals
head
work?
of department was like
What the fuck?
a famous artist.
Since when?
And all of her teachers were working artists. Ours were mostly people who tried to do film for a couple of years and failed at it.
You had a few people who would like, oh, I'm taking a leave of absence to work on this movie or that movie.
Right.
Like Chris Newman was still working.
Oh, no, he was, and then he retired because.
Is that just the
Yeah, he
rest
was
of
old.
this
Yeah,
video?
he was an older guy, so.
My thesis advisor.
There's
Possibly.
stuff
I had
about film school.
a script that I was working on for my thesis. I went to my thesis advisor. I was like, listen, man, my script's not really.
It was just
ready,
one
and I don't
drink,
want to spend
and
this
the
money on
rest
this
is
script
just
until it's ready.
all this
Can
stuff
I
about
change
film
my
school, I
thesis
guess.
plan and make a documentary instead about my grandmother's life? I have a really good idea for her. You know, she was a burlesque dancer. I think it'd be really interesting. And he said, yeah, let me go ask Reeves about that. He's the chair of the department. And like my guy was like, my thesis advisor was good pals with Reeves. So I thought, shoo in. And he comes back, he's like, yeah, no, he says you got to make the movie you said you were going to make. I was like, did you fight for me? Did you argue that point? Can I go argue that point? No, I think you got to make the movie you said you were going to make.
I'm paying to be here.
I was so pissed, man.
Like, that is a ridiculous.
I was pissed. I was really pissed. Did you work on Jesse's thesis film?
No.
The Okie Dokie?
No.
It was about a stuffed animal that got like taken over by an animal.
Meow.
His thesis. He had like we had Jim Henson puppeteers on that shoot and stuff.
That's very
because he went and worked for
I'm getting bored.
Sesame Street for years.
Just skipping.
He's the reason.
Let's go to the next thing.
He's the reason I'm staying around.
Oh my god. Lesson. Let's see what you did there. All right, the 200-hour burrito. Let's go.
In a world of speed, we lack patience. We want our packages now, our workout results now, our food right now. So today, let's change that.
We have a
pace little bit.
hydrate. Y'all better hydrate before you dehydrate.
What?
Nom nom nom. Oh shit, that looks good.
So we're making the longest timed burrito that we can. What can we take a long time with? I want to extrapolate it as much as possible. If there's a recipe that takes 4 hours, how do I make it take 12? So we're gonna separate out the elements, draw out as much time as we can, put it all together in one burrito, and well, see if the taste is even worth all that time and effort. With all that being said, let's make this, shall we?
Believe it or not, this burrito actually has the capability of going beyond 200 hours. But I decided to take it easy on you because, well, I love you. If you want this to time out well, you must do this recipe in order. First thing, hot hot sauce. Only 5 ingredients if you don't count the First, you need 1 pound or 450 grams of red Fresno chilies or red jalapenos. Slice those into rough rounds. Ideally, you want them evenly sized, but obviously you're gonna eviscerate it in a blender, so, you know, whatever. Once they're sliced, place in a bowl, toss with 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of kosher salt. Make sure those 2 measurements are as accurate as possible. This is at a 3% salt level. That means that took the weight of the peppers, aka 450 grams, multiplied that by 0.03, and I got 14 grams. This is the secret formula to a safe and proper ferment. Once your peppers are tossed, put them in a bag for vacuum sealer, and, well, vacuum seal them, and let that sit out at room temperature for 7 days. We have another hot sauce recipe that uses a submerged brine technique. So you can do that sans vacuum machine. We're now sitting already at 168 hours, but wait. We got another thing that if you don't do today will ruin everything. Preserved lemons. Do this the same day, and I'll explain why in a second. In a medium-sized bowl, combine 3 quarters of a cup or 216
what am I
grams
supposed
of
to do
kosher
with
salt
these?
and 3 tablespoons or 36 grams of granulated sugar. Whisk those brothers together. You'll need 7 Meyer lemons. Start by cutting off a small piece of each stem, then with a knife starting at the top or bottom
Those
of each
lemons
lemon,
are
cut
weirdly
them into
orange.
quarters without cutting all the way through. You need to leave a little nub at the end to keep them attached.
That's like
Repeat
school
with all your
bus
lemons,
orange.
And once that's done,
Or
fill your
yellow?
crevices
School bus
with your salt
yellow.
sugar mixture. Whoa, Josh, that's so much. Yeah, that's right. You really want to fill these bad boys up. Don't worry about it being too salty. Once it's done, drop that into a 1-quart mason jar and repeat that process, adding a light spoonful of your salt sugar mixture every so often until your jar is
He said that they
completely
were
filled
lemons.
with your seasoned lemons.
Didn't he?
Use a dowel
Yeah,
or rolling
seasoned
pin to
lemons.
press those bad boys down. You want their
Those
juices
are
to create a
lemons.
brine that just
Why do they
covers
look like
the lemons.
oranges?
So either add more lemons or you can squeeze
Also,
more
how you
lemon
doing,
juice in
Yuki?
there. Once it covers, top with a little extra salt sugar mix. Cover with
Hope you're
cheesecloth
doing
and a piece of
heckin'
kitchen
great.
twine so the little creatures that live in your kitchen cannot hop in. Then leave that out for, yes, 7 days.
He's
at
colorblind,
least.
it's so
You can
cute.
also take these lemons way longer. You can age them up to a month, sometimes longer.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Arguably one of the most untraditional, albeit best carnitas I've ever made in my life. First, you'll need the most
Carnitas.
beautiful 4-pound or 1.8 kilo boneless pork Boston butt. We just take a second to
Boneless.
admire this, by the way. Wow. Anyway, slice that into 1-inch thick slices. Season each piece generously with salt to taste. You're gonna need a cinnamon stick, just one, but it'd be a whole lot cooler if you charred that bad boy with a kitchen torch or an open flame to give it that extra aroma. Pop your pork nice and
Aroma.
evenly into a sous vide bag. Add your charred cinnamon stick, 1 lime sliced into rounds, 1 bay leaf, 1 large orange, cut into wedges. Any orange you want. You could do blood orange, you could do cara cara, I don't
sous
care.
vide
10 whole
Christ.
garlic cloves. Yes, 10, because mama did not raise no bit. Vacuum seal that bad boy up and gently lower into its little hot tub for naughty pieces of pork. At 185 Fahrenheit
my.
for 16 hours. We're now at 184 total hours. Now the timing of this next one needs to be done specifically the day before eating. We're talking beans. You'll need 1 pound or 450 grams of dried pinto beans.
Beans,
Place those in
what
a medium-sized
the
bowl and add
fuck?
just enough water to cover them, about 1 inch above the level of your beans.
Yeah, you
Cover
gotta
with
soak
plastic
your
wrap and allow
beans.
those to soak overnight for a minimum of 12 hours. We're now sitting at 196 hours, but trust me, we're just
What is
getting
this?
started. We're nearly
It's
ready
for a
cooking day, but
200
first we have
hour
to address
burrito.
the sourdough tortilla in the room. Hey, wait a minute. Who let you in here? I told you to stop. Finally, something the OGs of this channel have asked us to show for a while. I know who you are. Thank you, and I
Tortilla.
always kiss you goodnight. If you want this to be sourdough, you'll need a sourdough starter that's fully matured for a minimum
Wait,
of 12
a
hours.
sourdough
Make sure to feed your
tortilla? What
sourdough
the
starter
fuck?
the day before, so it's nice and ready.
Oh, yeah,
for
those
what's
are pretty fun
next?
to do.
The day of cooking.
What
So
the
we
fuck?
now stand
I've
already
never
at
heard of a sourdough
208
tortilla.
hours. Let's go back to our
I've only heard of
slumbering beans.
sourdough
Drain the water
bread.
from your pinto beans and transfer them to a large Dutch oven. Cover
Bruh.
those with 2.5 quarts or 2
Tortillas
3/4
are
liters
basically
of fresh
just
water.
flat pieces
Bring to a
of
boil
bread.
over medium-high, then reduce the heat to low. Simmer for 2 hours, adding water as necessary. And once the beans are nice and soft, drain them and leave them to the side. In that same pot, add half a pound or 225 grams of rough chopped bacon. Set to medium. Cook, stirring often for 4 to 5 minutes until the bacon is crisp.
I do like me
Then add a
some
mixture of the
bacon.
following: 2 jalapenos, sliced, seeds and all. Okay, don't be a whiny baby. You can handle
Yeah,
it.
don't
1
be a
yellow onion,
bitch.
diced. 5 cloves of garlic, rough chopped. Add that all to a pot and saute for about 2 minutes or until fragrant and the onions begin to turn translucent. Add 1.5 teaspoons or 2 grams of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of light brown sugar, 2 chili to arbol. Stir and cook for 20 seconds. Then add your beans, a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes, 1 12-ounce bottle of Modelo dark beer, 1 tablespoon or 4 grams of finely chopped fresh oregano, and a generous splash of water. Bring to a boil over medium-high, then reduce that brother to low and simmer for 15 minutes. Now just remove that from the heat and stir in
15
a 3rd
minutes.
cup or 15 grams of finely chopped cilantro. Beans done.
Oh
There's
my
obviously some
God.
wait time during that, so while that's going, you can start your rice. You'll need 2 cups or 380 grams of medium grain rice. Wash your rice. End of story. Add to your rice cooker around equal parts
Always
water,
wash
2
your
cups or
rice.
480 milliliters.
Don't
Close
be
the lid and turn it on.
dumb.
While that's cooking, add to a small pan a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of vegetable oil and 5 cloves of garlic, thinly sliced. Turn the heat to medium-low and allow that to slowly come up and begin to fry. After about 2 minutes, remove from the heat. Once your rice is done, season it generously with salt to taste. Now add 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of your garlic oil
don't
and
fuck your
fried
rice. What the
garlic,
fuck?
as well as 2.5 tablespoons or 28 grams of lime juice and
Wash
the
your
zest of 1
what?
lime. Optionally, you can add 1 tablespoon.
Chat. One does not wash sandwiches.
What?
As a cook, I'm sitting here broken right now, trying to comprehend that.
Bruh.
I'm not reading chat. What the heck they're
If
saying?
you're washing your sandwiches, you have a problem.
Excuse me, they're
If
doing
you're at least
what?
washing your vegetables and fruits if you're putting it on a sandwich,
Oh,
that's understandable, but don't wash the
bread.
and meat.
That's gross. It's all
Especially
soggy.
after you've cooked it.
I mean, if you want a soggy biscuit, that's a different thing.
Oh
Wait,
my.
I'm gonna look that up.
No, don't.
Do
don't,
not.
Trex, don't.
If you are, turn on incognito.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Trex.
Wait, hold on. You're right. I should do incognito. Okay. Soggy.
No.
Okay, soggy biscuit.
Rex,
It's a game.
Don't.
Oh.
No, Trex.
Stand around a biscuit, UK or cookie, US. What? Why is this a thing?
You know what you should look up? Blue waffles. There you go.
Stop. No, come on.
And in Australia,
Stop.
it's also known as a soggy
Stop. Oh my fucking god. Oh, there goes my APs again.
Shit.
Why is it?
Why
is it?
I heard that fall.
Baked boiled bread crackers? Isn't that just like stuffing? Like for
Why did I think
turkey?
They have to eat the biscuit.
Stop.
Okay. I'm done.
Trex,
We're done.
bad.
We're done.
Bat-
We're done. We're done. We're done. We're
Bat-
done. We're done. Okay, blue waffles.
No, don't do that either.
I was joking. Oh, this poor boy.
Oh no.
100% urban legend. It does
As
not
long
exist.
as they don't ask for an anime recommendation, we're good.
Oh, blue waffles definitely exist.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna say the abbreviate. No, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna say anything.
All right, back to the video. Anyways.
Or 11
Yes,
grams of
food.
preserved lemon
Say,
peel.
also, chat, you're disgusting people for making your bread
I'm
wet.
so glad
That's
Disgusting.
gross.
What do you mean? What's wrong with
Cut the
this?
flesh off
Yes.
and finely chop the peel. That's it. Next, our blackened salsa. Here's a little secret to this
Oh.
one. In a large pan, add 1 cup or 240 milliliters of vegetable oil,
4
3/4 ounce
cuties here.
or
No,
18
there's
grams of
more
chili
than
de
4.
arbol, and 1 ounce
You
or
forgot to
28
include
grams
chat.
of guajillo chilies, both of which
There's also
Yeah.
you
heat that
and
over medium for 2
Yuki
to 4
and
minutes or until fragrant
Australia
and some dark spots
and
appear. Add 10 cloves of fresh
probably
garlic, and here's the
Celadon
kicker,
and like
15
everyone
cloves of
else that I didn't list because I have
I
a
know. If
very
you
bad
were to make
short-term
this
Yeah, you
memory.
got like
then you'd
you
make
got
it
like
with
wash
garlic,
the
which
yeast
Like the
out.
goldfish.
168 hours.
Wash
you
all
can
this
easily
gluten
buy
out
this
as
at the
well.
store or online, so I'll let this one slide because I love
Your
you.
gluten.
Anyway, 1 tablespoon or 15
Got
grams
'em.
of light brown sugar, 2 tablespoons or 29 grams of vinegar, 2
I don't
teaspoons or
actually
4
know what
grams
that
of ground
means.
cumin. Lightly stir and let that sit. Remove
Don't
from
know
the
what-
heat
what
until
means.
cool. Then transfer to a
Yes.
blender and blend on high until as smooth as you like.
You
Don't
can buy
forget to
some
season
of
the taste
my
with salt,
patent
and that's
pending
your salsa.
bread
Moving
soup.
on to the very
That's
important
actually a
preserved
thing.
lemon pico. This
That's
is where you
soap,
make
not
the
soup.
preserved lemons, medium-sized bowl, 3 Roma tomatoes, seeded and diced, half a red onion, very finely
I'm
diced,
dumb,
1 serrano
okay.
chili, seeded and finely diced, 3 cloves of garlic grated, 3
Look at
tablespoons
this
or 34
salsa.
grams
I
of
want it.
preserved lemon
I
skin,
fucking love
ideally
salsa.
brunoise,
It's like
or
one of my
you can dice
favorite
as
things.
finely as you can. The juice of 2 limes, a little bit of
Technically,
salt to
salsa
taste, 2
could be
tablespoons or
considered
8
a fruit
grams of
salad.
finely chopped cilantro, mix that all together, and
Yummy,
well, that's it.
yummy.
Well,
Takes
it's
7 days or
it uses fruit
168
as a
hours
base,
of
but
lemon
it's
prep, but
also
the little
filled with
punch
veggies.
flavor will make this an
It's like that. I accidentally. God damn it!
You really messed that one up.
Thanks
Shut
a
up!
lot.
You really messed that one up.
Shut up!
In a world full of
Just look at the title. That's the video you accidentally skipped to.
It's around there.
that.
Oh,
That's the
that looks
funniest
so
part.
good. That looks so good. Oh, I want
You know what else looks good?
your face.
That horn.
My mirror just cracked. I was gonna say Hito.
I forgot what I was going to say.
You're a nerd.
Something
A
about a
fire because my
fruit
head-
base mixed with vegetables.
Jabated.
What?
Blem.
I completely lost my train of thought.
All I know is we have to wash our bread when we make a sandwich.
Meow.
No.
No, I should make a
Mr. Chef,
soggy
can I suggest
PBJ
a
now.
food item to add to your menu? That would be Leshen. He's the one with the horns on the bottom.
Wait, you?
No, horns plural. I have one horn.
For now.
Listen here, little bitch.
Yeah? What's up? What do you
Who's your
want?
good boy? Who's your good
No,
boy?
how cute.
Who's
No,
your
you,
boy,
Ollie.
Tanda?
I keep dropping this fucking headset because it's broken.
You.
Then why are you
Hey,
using it?
Hey, Thunder, you
Yeah.
dropped something.
Not my standards, fuck you.
You dropped your bone.
Hey.
Rattle
Wait,
me bone.
Hold on, you have standards? Since when?
I know, right?
Anyways,
bitch.
clown, there we go.
As long as they will bully him, I'm pretty sure that they will.
Chocolate
Wait.
pasta with chocolate hazelnut cream sauce, white chocolate shavings, and fresh berries.
Ooh.
That sounds awful.
I'm pretty sure I've
Click.
had an Italian friend
That sounds like
make
way too
pasta.
much fucking time.
Oh, 100%.
I want to see it.
Like, I love cooking, but I ain't got time for that.
That is
As
absolutely
well as
disgusting.
prepping
looking.
all my
Fuck
other
that.
stuff.
Laws, or you can
at
dice
work.
as finely as you can. The juice of 2
I might try that
limes,
at home,
a little bit of
honestly,
salt to
but-
taste, 2 tablespoons or 8 grams of finely chopped cilantro, mix that all together, and well, that's it. It took 7 days or 168 hours of lemon prep, but those little pops of flavor will make this an unforgettable pico. To finish, our hot sauce requires almost nothing. Your bag of chilies should now be puffed from the fermentation. Cut your bag open.
Fun fact, if you really like pico de gallo, there's an anime all about making your own type of pico de gallo. It's called Boku no
Don't you
Pico.
fucking dare.
Look that up. Enjoy that. Again, that's
I'm
Boku no
lost.
Pico. Get your own pico de gallo.
Can you send a
Stop.
link?
No. 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 Listen, I know we got tracked with the soggy biscuit thing, but let's just stop there. Let's not
I need-
continue this on.
Send link.
No, we are not
Yes.
sending a link to this.
Hey, Thunder.
Yes, tracks.
Be a good boy and please be quiet.
I'm going to have to remind you that you have 0 power over me.
That is true. I don't.
So shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Oh, goddamn. That's some good shit. Oh, Leshen just fucking lost it. Oh. I know who has power of thunder. Is it Thor. Thor has power of thunder. And yeah, Lucy does have power over thunder. They may not be dating, but we know who still is the dominant one. Let's be honest.
I had to fucking mute.
Put your chilies in, plus any liquids that will release from the chilies. Obviously, if you brine your chilies, don't add that liquid because it'll be too salty. Follow with 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of sugar, a 1/3 cup or 80 milliliters of white distilled vinegar, salt to taste, and optionally half
Man,
a
that was
teaspoon
probably
or
one of my
0.5
best
grams
jokes
of
yet.
xanthan gum, which just prevents it from
That's
separating.
sad.
You can also add garlic if you want that flavor, but honestly, this hot sauce is simple because it's incredible in its pure natural state. Finally, back to our sourdough tortillas. Medium-sized bowl. Add 1.5 cups or 225 grams of flour, 1.5 teaspoons or 9 grams of fine sea
Flour.
salt, half a cup or 120 milliliters of warm water, a 1/3 cup or 86 grams of fully matured sourdough starter. Mix it all together
I
until
don't
you
think
get a
it
rough
has
dough,
eggs
and
in
then
this
knead
one.
for 3 to 5 minutes or until
Yeah,
you
no
get a
eggs.
smooth, supple dough. This can be made without the sourdough starter.
No.
but
No.
It wouldn't be a sourdough
Let's get it.
tortilla. Anyway, cover that and let it rest for 30
No.
minutes.
Yes.
Then separate into 5 to 6 pieces, roll into light balls, and working with one of your balls at a time. Nice. Roll into 11 to 12-inch tortillas. Begin heating a 12-inch cast iron skillet over medium-high until
Any of you
hotter than a
tried
quarter left on a
a
beach chair in the sun. One at a time, add a
mercuti?
tortilla
I have
and cook
no
for
idea
15
what that
to 30
is.
seconds or until it begins to
American-
puff and lightly char.
No.
Flip and cook for 15 to 30 more
American-
seconds. I mean, it should look like a tortilla, kind of like this.
I don't even know
Finish
how to
repeat with
pronounce
all
that.
of your tortillas.
I don't
Now,
like
for a
tea.
very special moment. Remove your pork from the
I'm
sous vide,
sorry,
pop
Trex.
the bag open, and
We
just
can't
take a
be
moment
friends
and
anymore.
enjoy the lusciousness, the
I'm
I have
greatness
tried
of this art.
tea
It's not
on
just
multiple
meat, it's a
occasions.
fine
It does-
poem.
the aftertaste
So, yeah,
does
roughly
not
shred
settle
your
well
pork
with
with its
me.
own fat. Spread
Well,
onto a foil
maybe you
lined
just
baking
need a
sheet.
different
Add
kind of
sugar.
tea.
Filling with some of its own fat and juices from the bag.
I mean, I like
Pop it into an oven
boba.
set to 400
Boba tea's
degrees Fahrenheit
alright.
for 8
There you
to 10
go.
minutes or until crispy, but
American?
still juicy and fatty. Don't leave it in there too long or it will dry out.
I guess that makes me a
Attention
Say
weed.
it fast.
crispy
I'm
bits
a
here and
cute.
there. For an assembly that took a grand
You are
total
cute,
of
you're right.
12
I see it.
hours.
I'm a
Tortilla down,
cutie.
followed by a light smear
I get
of
it.
blackened salsa.
I
Your
get
beautiful
it.
fried garlic.
I
was wondering
figured
where
it
the
out.
cook
It
was.
took like
That's
for
tender
fucking
of
ever, but I
oranges,
got it.
preserved lemon pico,
That's a
borracho
good
beans,
pun.
freshly
I like
grated
it.
Monterey Jack cheese or whatever cheese you like, some hot sauce to your heart's desire. It's not that spicy. You can eat it. And carefully wrap it up nicely
wrap
into
that
a beautiful burrito. Run your knife through the center to cut it open, and let's find out if this is worth it.
Can you
Probably
not
one of the
make these
longest burritos I can
sounds?
imagine, and
What
we're
do you
here.
mean?
I have an assessment.
You
Obviously,
know
the
what I
flavors are
mean.
amazing, but
But
they're
it
what
looks
you
so
would expect.
good.
It's not like
I
some
know he
alien
sounds
flavor.
good, but the
Listen,
sounds
that's
you
what's
make.
different about it.
It's just a food gasm.
It just is perfect. The texture of the meat, zero dryness. It's perfectly moist. It melts in your mouth in a way that you just cannot get from a traditional carnitas. I'm sorry.
fucking
Tortilla's
God.
got way more depth to it
What?
'cause it's fresh. The preserved
What's wrong,
lemon
Trex? You got a
adds this,
problem?
like, freshness you would never
No, I
find in any other
have a problem
burrito
with
anywhere in
myself.
the world. You get little pops of it here and there. Where you're
Aw,
just
that's
like,
so
this is a really good
cute.
burrito. Oh, it's a really good
Oh,
burrito. And then
God
bam, sits
damn it.
deep inside of your mouth. Should I turn the camera off? Turn it off. I could go on and on about this burrito. If this was the last burrito on earth, this is what I would eat.
Burrito.
But you could still have a delicious burrito without putting in all these hours, but you'll never have any other experience like this. So was it worth it? Yes, it's worth it, but I don't think any of you are gonna do this. But if you
Probably
do
not.
make this, please tag me, DM me on Instagram, post it in the comments, put it on the Reddit or in the Discord. The Discord's in the description. This is a lot of commitment, and it's well worth it in my opinion. The biggest benefit is that you learn a million other things, but you wanna know what else is a huge benefit?
B-roll. Yeah, let's go.
Because we all have a sous vide machine just laying around.
That would be nice. How much?
That really
They're not
You know
that
what?
expensive depending on the
Now I
quality.
need to know, how much is a sous vide? How much is a sous vide cooker? I could have just searched sous vide. I'm fucking stupid. Amazon, $100, bruh. That was 79. Oh, 49. Well, almost $50. 49.77.
Don't forget also the bags and the vacuum sealer.
We already have a vacuum sealer, but I don't know if the bags are like sous vide ready. They'll probably fucking melt. 69. Well, anyways.
69.
You know who else is a 69?
No.
My mom.
Your mom? Your mom's a 69er? So she's into football?
No, they're just old.
Wait, that's 49ers. That's my bad.
They're just old.
Look at these chunky mushrooms.
Aren't those enokis?
What was it?
No.
It said oyster mushrooms.
Oyster. Fuck, enokis were the little small ones.
No, enoki is a streamer, I think.
Thanks.
I know that there's someone named Enoki and she plays Valorant.
Jokey.
I hate peppers.
No, there's the enoki ones are like the white, long ones that
Shoki
grow in
mushrooms.
bunches.
Oh, the ones that
Enoki?
look like little sprouts.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's get a picture of it. Enoki mushrooms. So chat knows, yeah, these.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
they're
reminds
little
me-
stringy mushrooms. They use these in hot pot a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Reminds me
What
of.
is that? What? Spicy enoki mushrooms? Oh. That looks pretty good, actually.
This has been added to your watch later list.
Boop. I do like me some shrooms. Unlike Kurtza, who can't stand the fungus.
The
Doesn't seem like
fungus
a
is
fungus
good.
to me.
I know, right? Kurtza doesn't like mushrooms or onions.
Oh, right, no, that's a sin.
And like most people, he doesn't think pineapple should be on pizza. Except
bigger
for
sin.
when, like, it's to bully friends.
But pineapple on pizza is nice. What do you mean?
I already forgot what this video is about. All right, it's the shrooms. It's fried oyster mushrooms with the stuff. We're missing out on the onions and mushrooms? I know, right?
Oh.
Ooh. Apply soy sauce and sesame oil on the mushrooms. Both sides.
Perimeter on the
Like
inside.
cornstarch. Okay. Let's
Oh
get it
yeah,
nice and
cornstarch is
crispy.
used for a lot.
Does it have to be cornstarch? Can it be like potato starch instead?
It could.
Does it actually matter what kind of starch you use?
Yes. Yes and no. They have different flavors.
That's fair.
But they do roughly the same
Ooh.
thing.
Powder soup.
Yeah, just like your mom. Hey!
Hey yo.
Get that coated in the stuff. Fry that bitch. Not you, Thunder. Thickness and taste? Yeah. I like it thick.
Oh my god.
What? Calm down, Trex.
And Jinx said he was the one that made everything thirsty.
I
know,
need
right?
to.
Get up, come on, get down with the thickness. Yeah, let's go. Oh. Ah, boil the sauce. There we go. There's the sauce. You see bubbles, it
seems a
means
little
it's
saucy.
done. Nice. You can put mushroom directly into the pan, all over, coat it. Add the green onion, put the sauce separately. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Nice. We do like ourselves some fried mushrooms. We get these like mushroom poppers or something, whatever the fuck they're called. They come frozen in a box, and we just have those sometimes. That's pretty good. This looks better though, considerably better.
Super crispy sweet. Do the potato
I
one.
used to eat chalupas all the time, and I always
Yeah,
I gonna make one that I
chalupas.
like.
Let's go. I fucking love chalupas. Big stretch.
I may have forgotten to stretch for a little bit.
You should probably stretch, by the way.
So today we're making the Taco Bell chalupa. How many have we done now
hell
with
yeah.
Taco Bell? 1, 2,
Gimme.
3, 4, 5, 4?
Gimme!
Vikram doesn't know.
Put
Neither
it
do I.
directly
It doesn't
into
matter
my
because
mouth.
The Taco Bell menu is kind of
my.
this
That's what she said.
so
Them
to
tacos
speak.
do
And
look
for
good,
some
though.
reason, it just captivates people, and I don't
Never
know
had
why.
tacos
And
before?
the chalupa is one of those things.
Well,
I
get a
remember as kid, I would
recipe.
eat it, and I'm like, oh, I'm eating this. Even cognizantly,
You
I
can't
didn't
get
like
tacos
it, but
in
it's
your
one of the
area.
few but better
All you
items
gotta
we've
do
done that
is
I
make 'em
actually ate
yourself.
regularly as a kid, and I don't know why. So
Yeah,
with
go
all that
get
being
that.
said, let's make
Taco
this,
Bell.
shall we?
So
They very good.
I want to
Taco
stay
Bell.
and watch this video, but I
Can I
gotta
get
get going.
2 chalupa
Alright.
supremes?
Have fun doing
No,
whatever
that's
you're
it.
gonna be
Thank
doing.
All
Oh
right.
my goodness.
You have a fun time.
Nice.
Stay awesome.
Building a 1 out of 10, menu 1 out
Bye
of 10.
bye.
But the
You
service
go
is
check
fast, so that's
DMs.
probably
I
gonna get a high
I
rating.
sent you
Sure, yeah, I'll
bomb
take 2
tacos.
packets.
I was bribed with.
You're doing good, thank you. Honestly, service is great.
Bomb
I think that's the
tacos.
best service we've ever had on But Better.
Oh yeah, I saw
Picky,
the
trying to multitask,
thing
and I'm like,
earlier.
"Ah, you're doing great, girl. So honestly, 10 out of 10, great service. Jesus, let's just get this
It
over
does
with.
look good.
So we've got the bag. I used to eat these when I was a kid. Honestly, kind of excited about this one. And now I'm not. First off, this chalupa shell has been sitting for an extraordinary amount of time. I can just tell. The amount
Yeah,
of chewing needed to
that's not fresh.
masticate this, 75% more chewing than necessary. The flavor's all right. It tastes like Taco Bell. The ground meat, it's seasoned not bad. I feel like the last time we did Taco Bell, the meat was way worse. It feels like it's gotten better. Maybe they dialed it up. The cheese is cold, which I hate. Flavors are basic. Lettuce, flaccid. Tomatoes, desaturated. But the worst part of all of this chalupa shell, it's not just about the texture. It's the fact that while you're eating it, you're like, did I just bite into like a poison ivy leaf or something? Because it's so insanely bitter. The oil's maybe been recycled in the last
mean bitter?
17 days. Just
Yeah,
get
you
the
got
new oil,
you got
Taco
a
Bell,
bad
please.
Taco
We're gonna
Bell,
make this
my dude.
much better.
We're back on our Taco Bell.
It's
bowl.
America,
Let's
what do
make
you
this
mean?
Right. First, a nice basic
I
queso
live in
sauce.
America
This is
too.
not
I live in
nacho
Ohio
cheese.
where
This is
everything's
Texas
fucked up.
queso. Don't get
That's
it
probably why
confused.
it's
the
better.
neon stuff served at every Tex-Mex restaurant with a never-ending supply of tortilla chips. In a medium sauce pot, add 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of unsalted butter. Heat that over medium, and once melted, add in half a yellow onion, finely diced. 1 seeded
I'm
and
gonna
diced
go to
black
bed.
pepper. 3 cloves
Alright,
of finely chopped
enjoy
garlic,
your
and
rest.
salt and pepper to taste. Sweat those for
Think,
35 minutes or until they're beginning to
night-night.
soften.
Night-night,
then add
nerd.
1 tablespoon or 9 grams of all-purpose flour. Cook and stir for 1 to 2 minutes, then add 1.5 cups or 360 milliliters of whole milk. Continue to heat and
Milk?
stir constantly,
Okay.
just until the milk begins to thicken. You know, I like it thick. Cut off
It's
the
for
heat
like
and
a-
mix in a third
ah,
pound
yes,
or
this is the
150
cheese
grams of
sauce.
grated American cheese. Yes, the fake stuff. Trust me here. Half a pound or 225 grams of grated cheddar cheese. Continuously but gently stir until everything is melted.
Is
in
Ohio
heavy,
as bad as
beautiful cheese
Florida?
sauce. Season with additional salt and
Sometimes.
pepper as needed, and that's your cheese sauce. Anyone that's been to Texas knows the sacred qualities of
Looking
this
at
cheese
a
alchemy.
recent
Now just keep that puppy warm
law
and
stuff,
covered.
though,
Taco
I'm pretty
Bell
sure
seasoned
Florida's a
beef.
step
Iconic,
worse than
horrible. I don't know what
Ohio
else to say. I made a
currently.
few mods to my recipe to simplify it, and yet somehow it ended up tasting even better. So you're welcome, I guess. First, you'll need 1 1/4 pound or 560 grams of relatively fatty ground beef. Obviously, I ground my own by grinding together 1 pound or 450 grams of Texas Wagyu chuck roast, and 1/4 pound or 112 grams of the smokiest bacon I could find. Obviously,
Kidnap the
pre-ground
Yuki
is
and heat up to
fine, but try
fake
to find something
Canada?
around 70 to 75% lean.
Bruh.
Okay, tired of seeing people get 80% lean. You got that
Where
ground
is
beef
fake
that's drier than
Canada?
the sand dunes people are motorbiking around.
Where
on
is
Instagram.
fake
Heat a
Canada?
medium-sized sauce pot over medium-high. Once it's hot like me, in Lululemon
Is it
leggings,
Canada?
add your beef, press it into the pan, and sear for 3 minutes or until you get some nice browning. At this point, you can
It's
mix it
Maine,
up.
of course
Ideally,
it's
you can
Maine.
use a masher to get the beef extra fine, which
Ah.
if you want that Taco Bell type ground beef, you're gonna want it as fine as possible. Let that continue to sear, stirring often until you get some little crispy bits here and there. Reduce the heat to medium and add 2 tablespoons or 35 grams of tomato paste. Saute that for about 1 minute or until you develop a nice fond at the bottom. Now add 1.5 teaspoons or 2 grams of cumin powder, half a teaspoon or 1 gram of onion powder, 1 teaspoon or 1 gram of mushroom soup base powder. Trust me, that's a secret chef
Can't
move
speak
right there. 2
Canadian, you
teaspoons or
mean
3 grams of
French?
smoked paprika, fresh ground black pepper, and salt to taste.
Canada
Cook that
is,
for 30 seconds
I
or until
believe,
fragrant, then add
primarily
1 cup or
French
240
and
milliliters
English.
of water. Bring that up to a boil over medium-high, scraping that fond off the bottom. Reduce the heat to low and simmer that down until you reach what's called au sec, which essentially
There
means
is
there's almost no
apparently
liquid
like
remaining.
a
About
different
10 to 15
dialect
minutes. Cut
of
off the heat and
French
stir in 4
in
cloves of
Canada
very
than
finely
like in
chopped
other
garlic. Do
French-speaking
not cook the garlic
countries.
after this. Trust me,
Yes,
it's the raw
of course.
They're gonna make your little
Yeah,
piggies
so
curl. Now, your chalupa,
Canadian
shockingly
French,
easy.
very
And you don't
different
need
from
any
like
fancy equipment at all.
France
so, yeah, you can
French.
stop yelling at me about fancy equipment, which by the way will be challenging in an upcoming video. Keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you have a pot of frying oil heated to about 350 Fahrenheit, something like 2 quarts of vegetable oil in a 5-quart pot. In a medium-sized bowl, add 2.5 cups or 375 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon or 7 grams of fine sea salt, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of granulated sugar, 2.5 teaspoons or 11 grams of baking powder. Whisk all that together and then add 1 cup or 240 milliliters of whole milk and 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of vegetable oil. Mix that by hand until you form a rough dough, then knead that bad boy for 2 to 4 minutes or until smooth and beautiful like this fella right here. Wow, I just want to give him a little kiss. Look at him. Cover him up and let him rest for 15 minutes. Then divide your dough into 8 even pieces. And for the perfectionists around, that'll be about 67 grams each. Roll your dough pieces into light balls. Then using a rolling pin, roll them out into discs that are about 6 inches across. Then using a fork, lightly poke holes throughout the entire rolled dough. Gently lay 1 piece of dough into your heated frying oil and allow to fry for about 15 seconds. Then remove and form into a taco shape using tongs. Place that back into your frying oil, using those tongs to hold that shape together. And fry for another 30 seconds or until it holds its shape when you let it go. Continue to fry until golden brown, another 1 to 2 minutes, then remove from the fryer, drain on a wire rack, and season lightly with salt to taste. Repeat that process with all of your chalupa dough. I was pretty surprised with how similar these smelled and looked like the original Taco Bell chalupa shell, except significantly better. We're almost there. We just need to talk toppings. Lettuce. Always an afterthought, not anymore, because I love iceberg lettuce and it deserves a pedestal. No one puts iceberg in the corner. So to make this more thoughtful, first a medium-sized bowl, add half a head of thinly sliced iceberg lettuce, half a jicama peeled and julienned, and about 3 tablespoons or 11 grams of very finely chopped fresh cilantro. Toss together until thoroughly incorporated, and well, that's it. For your cheese topping in a medium-sized bowl, you'll simply combine 1 cup or 200 grams
Lettuce
of
feels
Monterey
weird
cheese,
in
fresh
burgers.
grated, and 1 cup or 200 grams
It depends
of
on the
cheddar cheese,
burger.
also fresh grated. For the tomato, I kept it simple but slightly elevated. 1 tomato.
Some burgers,
diced.
it works
Season
really
lightly with
well.
salt and pepper, and
Others,
a light glug of extra virgin
not
olive
so
oil
well.
for richness. Toss together until thoroughly coated.
In
Now
a
for
lot of
the
burgers,
assembly,
it just
leave
feels like
all
an
the room
afterthought.
for First, your puffy chalupa shell. At this point, you should check and see, is your queso hot and in a liquid state? Is your beef reheated and ready to be put on? This is a good time to do all those things. Now, open
This
up.
looks so good.
Chalupa shell.
Oh my
Layer
God.
a hot helping of your seasoned beef. Press it down to the bottom to form a nice stable base. Follow that with a fair layer of your queso. A nice generous helping of full fat sour cream. Finally, your fragrant iceberg salad. A light sprinkling
my
of cold
God.
cheese for some reason because Taco Bell does it and I still don't understand why. And a little bit of your diced tomato. Frankly, with the way that this is assembled, you could probably remove the tomato and cheese on top and it would likely make no difference, but we're trying to be accurate while also being better here. So that being said, let's go to our taste test and find our winner.
There's a freshness. I do not know why we didn't do this sooner. I feel like my childhood's
Oh my
rushing back to me,
goodness.
but in a different way.
Gimme.
There are reminiscent Taco Bell flavors going on in my mouth right now. It's hitting to the left, to the right, but every single thing is turned all the way up. First off, the texture of this. It's crispy on the outside, but puffy, soft, aerated on the inside. Melts in your mouth right away. By the way, this is in no way traditional chalupa shell whatsoever. Just putting that out there. The queso and the sour cream become one queso cream. The tomatoes, they're fresh, they're vibrant, not desaturated. And of course, the lettuce brings it home with a little bit of extra crunch from the Hickam. I mean, come on. It's an easy dub, but we can't decide a winner without our taste test. Woo! Bigram's back. It's Taco Bell. What do you expect? Do you have any feelings about the Taco Bell chalupa?
Don't mind Taco Bell in general.
I'm gonna give you number one. I cut them both so you wouldn't know which one's which. Hold your hand like overhanded. There you go. Number two.
It was clear from the get-go. The first one is better. The second one, other than it
No
being
way.
like flat, there's
I
a lot
would've
more
guessed.
flavors in Josh's version. You can taste the beef, you can taste the cheese. This one is kind of just one single tone. I can taste salt and seasoning, and this one is just lettuce.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. Let me rephrase that. It's a bad thing, but also you at least know what you're gonna get. At least Taco Bell's consistently okay. You already know we have full control when we make things.
Taco Bell's not amazing, but it is
But above all,
consistently
if you want the
okay.
best version, you start here. But do you want to know what else starts here?
B-roll. Let's go. Oh man. I love chalupas so fucking much. Seems like such a pain in the ass to actually make them though.
It's not too bad.
It's mostly because I don't really like.
I suck at baking. I suck.
Have
you heard the story of...
I don't really like to like deep fry stuff. So yeah, that's my main issue.
Darth Bacchus the Wise? No. Darth Bacchus was so powerful, he could use the Force to create pastries, bread, desserts. He had such knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the yeast he used from dying. He could actually save his dough from death. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities, some considered to be unnatural.
This is so fucking stupid.
What happened
I love
to
it.
him? Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Now his apprentice can out-bake him in his sleep. Is it possible to learn this power? Not
off in the
from
corner,
a
yeah.
Jedi.
If my baking skills don't get any better, I might actually have to turn to the dark side, but for now, maybe I'll get some help from the Star Wars baking book.
Yo, let's go.
Star Wars Galactic Baking by... Hey, who wrote this thing? Who wrote this thing?
No one wants to have their
Star
name
Wars
on
Galactic
this.
Baking, published by Inside Editions, takes us on a baking journey to taste the best sweets and treats across the galaxy. I'm about to get into Season 3 of Mando right now, so let's check this out to see if we can find some fun treats to get me more into the Star Wars mood. Now, if you don't already know, baking isn't really my forte, but just look at how cute and unassuming this book is. Surely it's got some easy recipes that even I can do, right?
See you later, Hito.
This
Alright,
book is a lot
see you
smaller
later,
than
SC.
the typical cookbook,
Stay
so
awesome,
it'll
my
take up less
dude.
space on your shelf and less dollars from your pocket. The 46 recipes in this cookbook are divided into 5 different chapters. The recipes are inspired by those particular biomes with additional references to Star Wars characters and locales. There's a lot of recipes that are recognizably Star Wars, but don't expect too much on lore. You're not going to find any backstories, and the recipes are not indicative of food that would exist in Star Wars canon. It's really just food that visually look like Star Wars stuff, which I think is pretty cool too. It would be useful for Star Wars themed parties for kids. The food photos look really good. Many of the recipes look really fun and colorful, and I especially like the ones that look like Star Wars characters. I'm sure kids would get a kick out of decorating and putting these together with a sugary payoff straight to their bellies at the end. There are a lot of sweets here, but there's also a sprinkling of savory stuff in here too, such as bar snacks and bread. Also, I really like the recipes that show photos of the different recipe steps. That's always helpful, and it's something I'd love to see more in cookbooks. The recipes look to be very family friendly and nothing looks to be overly complex, but for me, as a mere Padawan of baking, I would probably still mess up a lot of this stuff. Some of the recipes have additional icons that tell you more information about the meal. For instance, light speed recipes are very quick to make, dark side recipes are rich and indulgent, and light side recipes are a bit on the healthier side. Just a little bit though. So, to see if these recipes are tasty, I'm gonna make 3 recipes, one light speed, one dark side, and one light side to see if the force is strong in this one. Let's start with something quick and easy. Our light speed recipe is gonna be the Loth Cat Kibble. Let's go see what these little guys like to eat. In a microwave safe bowl, mix together half a cup of peanut butter chips with half a cup of milk chocolate chips, 4 tablespoons of butter, and a teaspoon of salt. Heat it up in 50% power in the micro and stir it up once or twice. Should take about 3 minutes. Then add in half a cup of smooth, natural peanut butter and stir it all in until well mixed. Now in a large bowl, add in 4 cups of peanut butter flavored crunchy corn and oat cereal, which is just a fancy way of saying peanut butter Cap'n Crunch. And add to that another 4 cups of regular crunchy corn and oat cereal, which is just a fancy way of saying corn pops, although regular Cap'n Crunch would work just as well. I just like the roundness of the corn pops. Then add in that
look a lot different than they used to.
and gently fold that along to coat all of the cereal. Once it's all evenly mixed and well coated, time to add in 2 cups of powdered sugar. Stir it all up again until the sugar coats it all. When well coated, spread it all out onto a baking sheet and let it cool completely. When cooled, add in another half cup of peanut butter chips.
I mean, that does
and you can
sound
store
pretty
these at
tasty.
room temp in an airtight container. Time to feed those Loth cats. After the sugar high, let's float to the sky all the way
She's
up to
bland and
Cloud
boring with
City
God
for
powers.
our light side recipe,
Cloud
City
me.
marshmallows.
Oh,
How
my bad.
marshmallows can be considered healthy, I'll never understand, but what do I know? First things first, get a 13x9 baking sheet and cover it up with plastic wrap. Spray it with some non-stick spray and also spray some of that on a rubber spatula and a sharp knife. Now in a separate bowl, mix together half a cup of ice water with 3 envelopes of unflavored gelatin. Whisk it all together until there are no clumps left and let this sit for 5 minutes. Then in a small saucepan, add in 2 cups of granulated sugar, a 2/3 cup of light corn syrup, a 1/4 cup of water, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Stir this over medium heat until the sugar is all dissolved, then increase the heat to medium-high and let the liquid boil. Cook this until it reaches 240 degrees Fahrenheit, which should take around 10 to 15 minutes. Then remove it from the heat. Get out your stand mixer and plop in your gelatin mixture, then slowly pour in that hot syrup and it's gonna bubble up in the bowl with the gelatin. When everything is in, mix on low speed and then gradually increase to high. Beat it until it's white and thick. The cookbook says it will be about 10 to 15 minutes, but I have a feeling I messed mine up as it is way too thick.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh. Add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla anyway and mix it up. Then take your marshmallow mixture and pour it in the plastic wrapped sheet, but as you can see, mine is just way too thick. I'm thinking I might have used too much gelatin. I tried smoothing out the top and adding some blue food color for the swirls and it was really hard to move. I popped it in the fridge overnight anyway to see what would happen, and lo and behold, it is super hard and not marshmallow-like at all. I decided to remake it with the following changes: 2 packets of gelatin instead of 3, 8 minutes in the stand mixer instead of 10 to 15, and a smaller baking sheet so it's a bit taller. What do you know? It ended up being a much better consistency, much easier to swirl the blue food color too. Cover it up with plastic wrap and let this rest for 4 hours or overnight. Before the next step, let's make marshmallow dust by combining half a cup of powdered sugar with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Then take some wax paper and sift some of the dust on it. Remove the marshmallow from the pan and the wrap and dump this on the dust. With an oiled knife, cut the marshmallows into cubes and gently toss them in the remaining marshmallow dust to coat. Remove the excess dust and store these Cloud City marshmallows in an airtight container up to 3 weeks at room temperature. I was messing up those marshmallows pretty bad, so maybe I need to turn to the dark side of the force and head to Mustafar to make some Mustafarian molten lava cakes. This is the most voted on recipe on my Patreon poll, so I'll try to do it justice for you folks, and
I've
thank
never
you for
had a
supporting
lava
the
cake
channel.
before.
Let's make the filling first. Scoop in
They're
4
good.
ounces of cream cheese to
Well,
a
I would
bowl and
imagine
add in
so.
the cream filling of 3 Oreos.
If they weren't
Set aside
good,
the
then
cookie parts as
people
we'll use
probably
those
wouldn't
for
be
later.
having them so
Add in 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and blend everything well with a hand mixer. Then add in 6 drops of orange food coloring. I didn't have
doesn't
any,
even
so
look
I'm doing
orange.
4
Oh,
drops of
that's
yellow and 2 drops of red. Mix it all up. Then add in another 4 drops of red coloring and just swirl that with a spoon to create that marble effect. Now line a small baking sheet with some wax paper and scoop in the filling into 6 rounds. Then freeze these cream cheese balls for about an hour or until firm.
That sounds
Let's work
about
on the
right.
cakes. We're gonna need 6 8-ounce ramekins coated with
I would
non-stick spray.
prefer them
Then
to be a
sprinkle
bit
2
more cooked.
tablespoons of granulated sugar inside each ramekin and rotate
So I like
it
a nice
around so that the
chewy
sugar
brownie.
coats the entire inside. Then shake out the excess sugar. Now in a bowl, mix together 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Once that's all mixed, add in half a cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of melted unsalted butter, half a cup of buttermilk, 2 large egg yolks, a whole 1-ounce bottle of red food coloring, 2¼ teaspoons
shit,
of
that's a
apple
lot of
cider
red food
vinegar,
coloring.
and a 3/4 teaspoon
That is
of
not
vanilla
gonna-
extract.
that's
Again,
not
make
gonna
sure
be good.
everything is well combined with your hand mixer. Take
I don't
half
know
of
about
this
y'all,
batter
but
and divide that evenly
my
among
body
the
does not
ramekins, then
like
place the
red food
frozen
coloring,
filling
like,
and
at
drop
all.
them in the center. And take the other half of the batter and scoop that on top of the filling to make sure they're fully covered. Now take those Oreo cookies you saved and place one on top of each cake and press it down gently. Now bake these in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes until the cakes are firm to the touch. Once done, remove from the oven and immediately run a knife along the side of each one to separate the cakes from the ramekins. Let them cool for 5 minutes, then cover a ramekin with a plate and turn it over to get the cake on the plate. Moment of truth, is this gonna flow like Mustafarian lava? Yeah, not really, but still looks pretty tasty though. I hope it tastes good. So let's find out and eat our treats. Starting with the Lothcat kibble, I'm just gonna take a big paw full of this and shove it straight into my mouth real quick. Delicious. Yeah, you can't go wrong with chocolate and sugar-coated cereal. The chocolate chips and peanut butter give this luscious creaminess, and that goes perfectly with the crunchy cereal. I like snacking on cereal as is,
Images
but
you can
this
taste.
is definitely way tastier. Some folks might consider this to be too cheap a recipe since it's just really tossing a bunch of ingredients together and there's really no cooking or baking involved, but I appreciate it. I think it's nice to have a collection of easy snack time recipes, and it would definitely be handy if you want to make some tasty snacks for your guests. Speaking of tasty snacks, I hope these lava cakes are one of them. Kinda bummed that these aren't very oozy. You can see that one of the ones that I plated is pretty goopy, but I cheated on that one. I took the filling of another one and just spooned it on like that just to make it look pretty. But it's
That's
the
fair.
taste that counts, and taste-wise, not my favorite. I think I undercooked it because the insides feel pretty dense and wet and not cakey at all. Could have also used more chocolate and sugar because the cake is pretty bland.
Howdy,
The
SK,
filling is
how you
good though, but
doing?
it's cream cheese and sugar, so of course it'll be good. I do dig the fiery color of the cake and the filling, but I don't think I have the baking know-how or patience to figure out how to make this work perfectly. Okay, after all I've been through, these marshmallows better be good. Upon first bite, it's way too soft. Very gooey, and it doesn't have that springiness that we all know and love
Wow.
about marshmallows. Maybe I used too little gelatin the second time around. It's like eating a spoonful of marshmallow fluff, and I was not prepared. But
Not
in
good at
this
the moment,
recipe's
but
defense,
should
I
be better
actually
later.
tried these
Aw,
same
well, I hope you
marshmallows a day
feel better
later, and
soon.
it was a lot better. I think it just needed
Oh,
more
mine?
time to
I'm doing
set,
alright.
so just keep that in mind if you try this. It may not look like I'm enjoying it now, but the following days after I shot this, I was much happier. Final verdict for this Star Wars baking book: short and sweet, but kind of a mixed bag.
All right, so I'm not big on sharing my personal life, especially on this channel. I tend to stick to what I'm good at, which is making, cooking YouTube videos.
I'll be back.
But the truth is, the making of videos is actually a smaller piece of my life than you might think. Between raising little kids, running a business, and pretty much homesteading at this point. So I thought it'd be interesting to just pick one day of my life and take you for a little behind the scenes journey from the moment I wake up to when I shut it down at night. So of course my daughter gets a cold the night before filming this video. So it was a bit of a rough night, but I was happy to at least get 30 minutes before my kids got up. And I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And even if I can get 5 minutes of alone time before they get up, it's gonna greatly help my mental state for the day. So the first thing I usually do when I wake up is drink a bit of water to rehydrate and take my daily probiotic, which is from seed. Now on a really good morning when I've gotten to bed early the night before and I have a good chunk of time, I'll try to go on a run for like 30 or 40 minutes. But since I was up a few times, I slept in a little bit more than usual and I knew I only had minutes to spare. So I decided to slip in a quick meditation. Now I enter into a 2-hour stretch of my day where a few things need to be accomplished. Number 1 is making breakfast for the kids and for the adults. Number 2 is getting the kids dressed. Number 3 is trying to get in some quality time with the kids before I go to work. And number 4 is, if I'm lucky, I'm getting a nice tea or coffee time with my wife so we can get some quality time before work. Now, how these things get done in that 2-hour period really depends on a few variables, mainly being my kids' mood.
What kind of animal are you? You're a lizard?
Oh yeah, and number 5 is sneaking in whatever meal prep I can get done to keep everyone fed throughout the day. So I'm just taking everything out of the fridge that could possibly be used or that's gonna go bad and try to turn it into something edible for the day.
Surf's up. Oh boy.
Me too, kid, me too. Oh, salad.
So I was able to throw together a nice smoothie for breakfast and a hearty salad with some leftover steak for lunch. And as things get done, I'll just throw them in my lunchbox and I'll also pack in additional snacks that will kind of fill in the gaps for work. Now, depending on how much meal prep I have to do in the morning, I'm generally spending around 30 minutes to an hour in the kitchen, which might sound like a lot, but for me, that's how long it takes to feed a family of 4, mostly homemade food. And normally I'd be out the door a little bit quicker to take my daughter to preschool, but because she was sick, I had a little extra time to spare. So yeah, we just hung out, had a good time before I packed up and headed to work.
Oh my God. Work it.
Now when I get to the studio, the very first thing I do is just hang up my bag, take out my laptop, and just set up my computer operations, since I'm traveling back and forth with my main laptop, which is my main source of digital work. And then I generally give myself at least a half hour to an hour to just kind of get admin things done. Emails that I need to catch up on, cleaning up the studio if that needs to get done, checking on food projects, any type of garden work. I find that it's nice to just slowly work into my day before I really hop into more intense tasks that need to get done. And on this particular day, there were a lot of those little chores around the studio. Now, something that I've been asked many times in the past is how I actually organize my day. And the system that I use is very simple. It's completely free. And I've tried a lot of these more professional task management apps over the years, and none of them have stuck for me. So what I do is just pull up the Stickies app on my laptop. I throw that on the side of my desktop, and as tasks and meetings and chores come in, I just pop them right in by day and time. Again, this is just a really simple time blocking way to organize your week. And for me, the most important thing is that it's just right there on the side of my screen, always showing up. And one thing that every parent knows is that time management is crucial because you don't have extra time to spare. So the first thing was getting the kitchen studio up and running, turning the lights on, organizing, any general cleanup that needs to happen. And like I said, I'll check in on any food projects that I have going, and today I had a few. I've been in a deep exploration of the world of koji, which is what's used to make things like soy sauce and miso paste, which I have a video coming out very soon on. But I'm making a soy sauce right now, and for the first few months, you really should be stirring it every single day. And then I checked in on my barley koji that I'm currently inoculating.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, smells good. This is my first time ever making barley koji. So instead of rice, I use barley. Oh, it looks amazing.
So the basic koji is made by growing a mold on white rice, but I had some extra barley and I wanted to try that out as well. And this mold was growing for a total of 40 hours and it looked absolutely great. So I'll probably turn this barley koji into some type of barley miso paste, which is very exciting. And the next food project I checked in on was some homemade bacon.
Yeah,
So for
mold
the
can be
entire
good
week
sometimes.
Before, I was actually curing some pork belly, and then last night I popped that in the fridge to dry out. So I just had to take that out, hit it with some black pepper, and it was ready for the smoker. So I went outside, got my smoker up and running, and I set that for 160 degrees, which is gonna take around 5 to 10 minutes to preheat. So I figured I would just move on to some other outdoor chores. And first up was unloading my food scraps into the compost, which honestly needs to be done about every other day at this point since I cook so much. This right here is a current batch I'm brewing, which I just layer with wood shavings to balance out the carbon with the food scraps, which are loaded with nitrogen. And over here in the other bin is the exact same combination of wood chips and food scraps, just much further in the composting breakdown. Almost ready to be sprinkled on my plants come springtime. And then after I mixed up the compost, I moved on to the newest addition in the homestead, which is a rainwater collection system that I actually installed last week.
So yesterday, it actually snowed a few inches. It was beautiful, but since it's nice and sunny today, it's all melting, including the roof. So the system starts at this gutter right here. You can see it's coming down. It comes down right here. This is the first flush, which I need to plug. It's not plugged right now. And that catches big debris like any leaves, and this catches small debris in here, which you can empty. And there's a ball in here that rises to the top and will stop any debris from them coming over to the actual tank to put in more clean rainwater. This is very exciting because it's really the first time I've captured rain. You can see we're just trickling right now because it's all pouring out of there. Let's see. First look in the tank. Whoa. We've got water in there. That's so cool. We're collecting rainwater. Oops. Nothing's glued yet. And then this should, let's see. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Oh, it's freaking cold.
Gee, I wonder why
which is
it
not
would
for
be
drinking.
cold.
It's going to be wired down here for just additional watering of the garden, because rainwater is always going to be better than hose water, which is treated with chlorine.
Next on the outdoor chores was feeding the chickens, which need to be fed every single day. And I'm actually raising chicks in about 2 weeks, which my oldest daughter is absolutely just like freaking out about. We are very excited in our household, and I will keep you updated on that journey. I'm sure they'll make a few cameos as they grow into egg-laying hens. And then once the chickens were all fed, I just wrapped around to the smoker, which was preheated at this point. And I got the pork belly on
That's
there,
where the chicks
which I'll
go.
let smoke for most of the day. It's a very low and slow smoke, just so the internal temp of the pork gets to 150 degrees. And finally, my last morning chore was restocking my firewood rack inside because it was a bit of a cold day and I knew I would be ripping through some logs.
Oh yeah, rip those logs. Fuck yeah. Toasty.
So before we move on, I quickly wanted to thank today's sponsor, which is Seed. You remember that green pill that I took to start my day? That's the Seed DS-01 Daily Symbiotic that I take every morning, which is a combination of both a prebiotic and a probiotic in one capsule. Now, I've tried a lot of probiotics over the years, but Seed is the only one that's actually stuck as a daily routine for me, and that's because it actually works.
Most probiotics actually die before they make it to your gut, but this outer shell right inside
of gout. All right, so like I mentioned before, no day is ever gonna be the same for me, but there are two general categories of my days. One is a production day, filming these videos. Now, for those days, they take a lot of energy because I'm a one-man production team and I like to give it my all. So I really try to block those days out for just filming. And then I have everything else at Pro Home Cooks that needs to get done days, which means pre-production on videos, doing the creative, recipe testing, food shopping, planning. There's post-production days, editing, color correction, sound design, all of those things. Just general meetings with my team members, business meetings for future things that I'm working on, everything else that goes into running Pro Home Cooks. And that's gonna be probably 70% of the time versus 30% filming. So on this day specifically, I was documenting one of the everything else days, not a filming day, while simultaneously filming it. So I was kind of doing both, which was very exhausting and also kind of unique. So Cooper was in studio that day and we were working on some short form content. So this was a little bit of a training / editing session.
I'm about to show you the #1 key to making perfect pasta at home.
And we worked on that for about an hour and a half in total. And then I had lunch, which was that salad, while I watched some YouTube. Right now, because it's springtime, I'm just deep into the homesteading game, just looking for tips and inspiration. And then after lunch, I actually had a 30-minute gap in my schedule. So I squeezed in a 22-minute workout from YouTube. Shout out Juice and Toya. A little full body dumbbell action. And another thing I've learned with kids is that any type of workout, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes, is gonna be beneficial. Just moving your body, you just gotta take what you can get. And right after that workout, I went right into a business meeting, which lasted around 1 hour long. So at that point, it was already 3 p.m. And usually my work day ends, at least the first part of my work day ends at 4:15 when I pick up my daughter. But I figured because she was sick, I would just pack it up for the day and just get home to check in on things. And then if I had to do work later and catch up on things, I could do that later when the kids were sleeping. So before I leave the studio, if I'm not rushing out to pick up my daughter, I do like to clean things up, especially because the next day was a filming production day. So I just organized the kitchen, did some dishes, got the batteries charging. Right when I plugged in those batteries was when it hit me. The frickin' bacon. I literally forgot about the bacon, which is a testament to how awesome pellet grills are, because you can just set them and forget them for the whole day. And that's exactly what happened. I forgot about the bacon. So when I went out to check, that bacon was perfect. So I just took it in and threw the rack in the refrigerator. And then actually today I processed that bacon. And then I have these little individual portions that I can take out of the freezer and just defrost for an entire week. And the last thing I did right before I left was just take
It went like 150. I'm not sure how well that's cooked.
And I felt like I just didn't get outside enough. So I just took, honestly, 5 minutes
be in there
to walk
for
around
hours
my
and
garden
hours
and
and
just
hours.
really appreciate all of this spring life coming into bloom right now. This is my second year gardening on this scale, and I just feel so much more
Again,
ready
I'm kind
and
of dumb,
capable
okay?
going into year 2. So I am pumped, and stay tuned for a lot of fresh veggies and fruit and just garden content in general. So I headed back home to my second job, which is, of course, taking care of family. And usually I get right into work making dinner, which tonight was gonna be a noodle soup. Who would have thought? Mike making another noodle soup. But for me, when I'm low on ingredients, which I was at this point, I can always throw together some type of noodle soup. And that's exactly what I did.
Whoa. Oh. Ooh, that looks good.
And this noodle soup, I would give it a 5 out of 10. Not my best work, but hey, most importantly, dinner was served. And on Monday of this week is when the old daylight saving shift happened. And that, especially with little kids, will just throw your life
Can we just get rid of it,
to a
please?
degree that you never expected could happen. But once you start adjusting to the new timing of things, just having more light when I get home from work is such a game changer. teenager. So randomly, we just packed up and went on a little walk with the family. We're out. Which was the first time that has happened after work in months. Because over the last few months, when I get home from work, it's just super dark and we're stuck inside. So this was a real treat, and again, just another exciting spring moment in my day.
Now Marley goes.
And then when we got home from the walk, it's just classic chaos again. Between my wife and I, we have 2 hours to feed the kids, play with the kids, get the kids dressed, to bathe them, to put them to sleep. Absolute insanity. And then when that's done, if my wife and I have any leftover energy, we are cleaning the house.
They're not potatoes, what
What
the fuck?
For the next day of
I mean,
chaos. And then
they
of
kinda
course,
look like
all
potatoes.
those toys. The toys gotta get organized, they gotta go away. To get ready, of course, to just get destroyed the very next morning. And then finally, free time to just chill. Once the kids are sleeping, I've got a few hours
Free time to
before
chill.
I go
Oh,
to
crap.
bed, which generally is either watching a Netflix show, watching some YouTube, potentially meal prepping if I have energy, potentially doing some catch-up work like I mentioned before. But on this
Right, now I'm
very
starting to
day,
get
I
bored.
was absolutely wiped. It
All right,
felt
it's almost
like
over.
a marathon, having to do my
I'm just gonna
day
skip
and then
this
also
recap.
film it. I don't know how these
Oh, spicy and sweet egg burrito, crispy outside, soft inside. Hell yeah, let's go. Cooking haru. 2 tablespoons of chopped tomato. Chopped onion, 2 tablespoons. Chopped jalapenos, very nice. If you don't want to use jalapenos, you could use bell peppers probably. It'll be more bitter and less spicy, but it'll still be tasty. Taste and adjust the amount of salt. Delicious salsa done. I guess that kinda counts as a salsa. That's basically what a fresh salsa is made out of, so yeah, that counts. Eggy! Blech. Five tablespoons of milk. Oh. 1 tablespoon of meating or cooking wine. Tablespoon of sugar. A bit of salt. Low heat, enough cooking oil. Nice. Eggy. Stir gently to cook the eggs softly. Cook it until 80 to 90%. The rest will cook with residual heat. Whoa. Oh my god. Ooh. Bacon. Bacon. Baconated bacon. That looks like Canadian bacon. Which is basically the special type of ham, let's be honest. Oh, it looks good though. Mayo and sriracha. Oh. One-to-one ratio, it looks like. Warm tortilla over the low heat. Alright, yeah. You always want to warm your tortillas. Always. If you don't warm your tortillas, you're gonna have a bad time. That's just how it is.
Mostly fine.
Well, it will be fine, but more than likely when you go to wrap it, like that, it'll just break. It'll just fucking break.
What kind of tortillas do you'll have?
Shitty store-bought ones.
Yeah. You just have shitty stores in general.
And the 10-inch diameter ones that they're showing off here, those ones you can buy. I think they're sold as like burrito tortillas or whatever, something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, crisp up the edge. Get that crisp going. Oh, it's so good. If you've never had a burrito with a nice crispy outside like that, oh, they're so good. Adds a little bit of flavor, but a lot of crisp, and it's so good. Cut it open. Take a look at the inside. It looks pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. I would definitely eat that. 135% yes. Eggy. Oh. Eggy. Oh. F. Rip Eggy.
Hey, what's up? Today, I'm going to show you how to make a deluxe breakfast burrito that has a few unconventional twists that take it to the next level. To get started, I'll need 1 bag of frozen tater tots. This is not a joke. In my opinion, breakfast burritos need crispy potatoes inside, and tater tots are the best way to get that done. Unlike roasted potatoes or home fries, tots stay crispy pretty much no matter what. Now, I'll empty this bag onto a sheet tray and then load it into a 450F oven to bake for 45
like little
minutes.
hash brown
The bag says
bites.
to bake these at 425 for 20 minutes, and in my experience, that's a recipe for soft tots. Now, while those roast, I'm going to make a quick, bright tomatillo salsa. For that, into a small saucepan, I'll combine 100 grams of jalapeno, 10 grams of garlic, 100 grams of chopped white onion, and then 400 grams of ripe tomatillos. If the fruit doesn't have a little give to it like this, then it's underripe and will be too sour to make this salsa. Lastly, in goes 400 grams of water, then a lid. Next, I'll move this pot over to the stove and bring it up to a hard boil. And once it is, I'll turn the heat down to medium-low and simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the tomatillos are fully softened and the sauce has thickened up. Like this. You know it's thick enough to puree when the tomatillos are soft and jammy and the onions are translucent. Next, I'll add in a large grip of fresh cilantro, 10 grams or so, then a strong pinch of salt, and then the immersion blender goes in and I'll puree this until the cilantro is incorporated and there's no longer large chunks of veg floating around. And from here, I'll move this salsa over to a glass container and then throw it into the fridge to cool until it's time to eat our burritos. You guys, this is my go-to salsa when I decide to make my own. It's bright, tart, a touch spicy, and takes me less time to make than going to the store to buy a less good version. Next, it wouldn't be a breakfast burrito without a generous dose of crispy bacon. So to prep that, I'll take 1 pound of thick cut bacon and cut it into pieces that are roughly a ½ inch thick. When I say thick cut, I mean about 10 to 12 slices per pound. Any thinner than that, and the bacon gets dry and kind of bacon bitty when you render it. I don't love that. Next, the cut bacon gets scooped into a large nonstick pan, and then I'll throw it on the stove and add in about a cup of water. From here, I'll bring it up to a simmer and mention that adding water here is something that we do in the restaurant to both speed up the rendering process and to render the bacon more evenly. I'll simmer this for 5 minutes or so, and once the water is evaporated, I'll continue to render the fat and crisp up the bacon for about 10 to 15 more minutes. And I'll stir every minute or so to make sure the bacon is in contact with the rendering fat. That's actually what crisps it up, not the pan. And once the bacon is fully rendered, meaning not flabby looking and has a deep golden reddish color like this, I'll move the pan off the heat and then use a slotted spoon to move it over to a paper towel.
Yo, I'd be happy with that
now,
bacon
it's been about
alone.
45 minutes since I threw my tots in the oven, so I'll pull them out, and as you can see, they're quite crispy looking. Since these are destined for a burrito, they're actually a little bit more baked than I would normally like, but the crispiness is the priority here, and we need the extra time to dry out the outer edges. If you were willing to sacrifice a little bit of crunch here, you could combine 2 russet potatoes that are diced in a medium bowl with a long squeezer of olive oil and a strong pinch of salt, toss them together and throw them onto a preheated sheet tray and then high roast them at 450F for about 25 minutes.
The results here aren't nearly as crispy as the tots, but these are easy enough to make and they taste good. So keep this move in mind. From here, we have a few more things to prep, but all of them only take about 1 to 2 minutes each. First up is refried beans. So to prep those, and I use the term prep very lightly here, into a small saucepan, I'll combine 1 can of drained pinto beans and 1 can of store-bought refried beans. I'm not cooking my own beans here because I don't want this burrito to take me all day, and this is only one component of like 8 in the final dish, so we really don't need anything fancy here.
And let's be honest, most people are just going to do exactly that.
So to level these up, I'll add a strong pinch of salt, a strong pinch of black pepper, 2 to 3 grams of ground cumin, and then the juice of half of a lime. From here, I'll move this pot over to the stove, stir everything to combine, and get them hot. I'll mention I combined the whole beans with the mashed refried so that I could get a little bit more bean texture. All refrieds in the burrito would add up to too much soft. Next, we need to mix up some eggs for this burrito. So for that, I'll combine 10 large eggs, 3 grams of salt, and then because I'm a bad boy who likes it creamy, I'll add in 125 grams of heavy cream. This will make the scramble richer, more tender, and less weepy once cooked. Next, the immersion blender goes in, and I'll spin everything until it's
If you don't have an immersion
and I'm
blender,
prepping enough of
get that
everything
fork
for
out.
4 large breakfast burritos, by the way.
A
Next,
fork
we'll make
or
a
a
little
whisk?
spicy crema to lube things up and to bring some acidity. For that, I'll combine 125 grams of mayo, the juice of half of a lime, 15 grams of hot sauce, 50 grams of sour cream, 1 can of chipotle chili and adobo sauce, then 1 large garlic clove that I'll squish with my garlic press. One more time, I'll drop in my immersion blender and spin this until everything is
That's
broken
like
down.
3 or
and we've
4
got a
things he's
smooth,
already done with the
creamy
immersion
sauce.
blender in
And there we
this
go,
recipe.
a spicy, smoky crema, or as I like to
I
call
mean,
it,
we have an
Chipotle
immersion
ranch.
blender.
This is a perfect sauce for a burrito, a fried onion ring, or a
damn.
quesadilla. Now, let's build these burritos. But first, let me quickly thank Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Scentbird is a fragrance subsidy.
I don't
It's real
care
clear,
about
it's
your
30 days support.
sponsor.
Or if you
I don't give a shit.
Thank you, Scentbird. To build these burritos, I'll drop 2 non-stick pans on the stove over medium heat. The large one's going to
they're
be
not
for frying
sticky.
the tortilla until it's crispy,
not?
and the small one is for the eggs. Speaking of tortilla, for a hungry person, I recommend
know
going
why,
with
but,
a
like,
10-incher. It's really hard to fit everything that we want inside
10-incher,
into an 8-inch tortilla. I opted not to make my own tortilla here because after trying it a few times, it seemed very not worth it. For something like a quesadilla where it's only about melty cheese and tortilla, I think the extra effort there really does pay dividends.
that's
but for
fair.
a perfect breakfast burrito, all we need is something that's strong enough to hold the toppings and malleable enough to stretch when we roll it. To prep this tortilla for its fillings, I'll spray both sides with a little bit of water to create some steam and then throw it into my medium heat pan. I'll flip it over and steam it on the second side until it's heated through and floppy like this. Then in my other pan, I'll squeeze in a little olive oil, then add in 4 ounces of my egg puree. To make really nice creamy scrambled eggs with a tender large curd, I'll stir pretty constantly for the first 45 seconds. I want to cook these until I've got about a 50-50 blend of curds to raw eggs in the pan, and from there I'll fold it every 15 to 20 seconds or so, making sure not to break down the curds too much. I think a crumbly scramble with a smaller curd tends to feel kind of grainy in the mouth, so I try and keep things large and fluffy like this. And after about 2 minutes, I've got some really beautiful scrambled eggs here. They're silky and soft, but will stand up in our burrito. Now, to build this burrito, I'll slather on 3 to 4 tablespoons of
To
my
me, it looks
doctored
a
up
bit
refried
too
beans,
undercooked.
and then spread into a nice flat little rectangle. Then next, I'll add on
Because I don't
some
really
cheese.
like
That's
the
a third cup
gooey,
or about 30 to 40 grams of
yolky
grated
type of
Oaxaca-style
egg.
cheese. If you haven't used it before, Oaxaca cheese is sharp
It's a
and
texture
dry
thing.
like a Swiss cheese, but it's fresher and not nearly as funky. A great sub for Oaxaca cheese would be Chihuahua melting cheese, or if you're really in a pinch, I'd say go for pepper jack. Next, I'll lay down
have a
8
melting
tater
cheese
tots
called
specifically
Chihuahua?
lined
What
up
the
in
fuck?
2 rows of 4. This will hopefully lead to a
Okay.
very satisfying looking cross section later on. And then next, I'll drop down my little scramble patty here in the middle and try and keep it on top of
Scramble.
the tots as best I can. Behind the eggs comes some very lightly mashed avocado. To make it, I just combine 2
Avocado.
avocados with a strong pinch of salt and a long squeezer of lime. I'm not really calling it guac because this is much less wet and has a lot more texture. For an herbal note here, I'll add on some chopped cilantro, then a quarter of the bacon that I rendered earlier. Ooh, egg down. I'll tuck that back in for structural integrity. Lastly, I'll add a few spoonfuls of my smoky chipotle ranch, and then I'll top
hell
the
yeah,
whole
let's
thing
go.
with a generous grip of cotija cheese. Cotija is like Mexican Parmesan. Look, it even says so right on the container. but I think cotija has more of a sharpness to it, and it's not as complicated tasting as Parmesan. Lastly, it's time to roll this thing up. And I'll admit that I have not rolled a ton of burritos in my life, like maybe less than 20
I can
in
tell.
total. So if I can do this, you certainly can. It starts with tucking in the sides to cradle the fillings. Then, while keeping the insides as contained as you possibly can, I'll roll this front to back until the tortilla is folded over. As I roll this, I'm gonna tuck in the sides so that they don't fly open when we're eating it, and that they get wrapped into the burrito itself. And from there, it's just a tight roll until everything is packed up. Now to finish, I'll drizzle a little oil into my nonstick pan and then add my rolled burrito seam side down. From there, I'll fry this to both get it super crispy on the outside and to help seal the burrito shut. And after about 90 seconds here, I'll check the bottom, and it's looking golden and crispy, so I'll flip it over and fry it on the backside for another hot 90. You certainly could avoid this last step of frying, but I would never do that. Adding one more type of texture is almost never going to be a bad thing in general. And when you finally get a taste of that sweet, browned, crispy tortilla along with everything else, you're never going to not do it again. And right about now, if you're wondering, hey, Bri, this seems like a lot of trouble for a silly little breakfast burrito. Is it worth it? Well, you tell me, bro. I was so stoked that I got a cross section that looked this good.
It's beautiful, dude. Look, egg, tater tots.
Yes, 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 yes. Add on some fruity, tart tomatillo salsa to bring a little sparkle to an otherwise very rich, very creamy burrito. And yeah, you're having a good time.
Hell yeah.
This thing has everything. It's
it
smoky,
looks so
crispy,
good.
creamy,
I
smooth,
want it.
chewy, and it's one of the funnest foods on earth to eat. And
yeah.
honestly, it's not even that heavy. I highly recommend that you make this for someone that you like sometime soon, because you're not going to be disappointed. Let's eat this thing!
Yeah!
If you like melty, crispy, semi-Mexican foods, then
Oh yeah. Oh, that was the last one on my list anyways. Hey. Now we're on to whatever YouTube suggests me. Oh, there's an Avengers cookbook. What? Maybe next time. Save to watch later. These spring rolls, I want to see that one. Save to watch later. An hour of memes. I don't want to watch an hour of memes. Maybe like 20 minutes would be good. Oh.
Econo meatloaf from the Great Depression. Yes, this is a depression meatloaf, which happens to be what I call myself when I'm wrapped in blankets at 2 a.m. watching Netflix covered in Pop-Tart crumbs. But anyway, we start with 6 slices of bread, preferably like my dating life. Stale. Remove the crusts. If you're over the age of 6 and you still do this, good for you. Don't let anyone tell you how to eat. Move to a bowl. Save the crusts. Add a cup of oats and a can of evaporated milk. The meat remains unseen. Perhaps it's waiting for marriage. Pepper. 2 teaspoons of salt and a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. I'm not sure if anyone told you, but beef is a cow. You know the mooing? Time for just a pound of ground beef. Mix thoroughly. This is more grain than meat. Get it? Then we add ketchup. Press in the bread crusts. Railroad track looking Union Pacific meatloaf. And finally, more ketchup. Bake this in a moderate oven for an hour. That is unpleasant. It tastes like it's saving me money. Hard times. Econo meat.
Fair enough. It tastes like it's saving me money. Yeah. Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. Like. Oh my god. I am interested in seeing what this Koji stuff is, but not right now. Next time. Next time. You know what? I think I'm done for today. I'm running out of energy. My energy is decreasing.
Oh no.
Yeah. But you know what? That's okay. Because we are going to do a raid. We're going to raid someone. A certain horny nerd that is playing some sort of farming game. You know? Yeah. Slash
Who
raid.
could that be?
I wonder, who could that be? Could it be Leshen? Oh, I wonder. Could it possibly be Leshen Skog? Leshen underscore a Skog. Who was
What a
playing
nerd.
Farming Simulator 22. Like some
What
sort
a
of
nerd.
massive fucking nerd. Oh my god. He is indeed a massive fucking nerd. And that's totally fine. Anyways, hope y'all had a wonderful time. It was a shorter stream than a lot of you are used to, but that's fine. And if you want to, there's the generic raid thingy there, Kittycorn raid. If not, that's totally fine. Just I don't know, call him a horny nerd. I don't know. I've got nothing.
Exclamation mark Leshen is what you should do.
Yeah, exclamation mark Leshen, just like that. And things and stuff, and yeah. Anyways, thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. VOD gang, I want you to know I love and appreciate you. Mwah. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.